Yeah, I just hate this guy I'm about to yap about. He's a degenerate streamer that no one really watches in the first place. His career is a bigger flop than the new Snow White movie, and apparently he's been banned numerous times from basically every streaming platform, but he keeps crawling his way back like the little roach that he is. And even though he's a public nuisance that's perpetually goober maxing, he doesn't even really have a community of people that follow him ironically. Typically, with a special specimen like this, there will be people that tune in just to watch all of the madness unfold and point and laugh at the guy. But he doesn't even have that because he is just so unbelievably lame. He's such a colossal loser that it's not even fun to watch him ruin his life. Like, you get more entertainment out of a knock-knock joke than tuning into this guy's streams. He's a pile of shit that not even mosquitoes will fly around, and there is an endless supply of things you can easily shoot spitballs at when it comes to this guy, but there's one in particular that I want to focus on, and the whole reason I'm making this. How often and how proudly he abuses his dog on stream.
Hey! No. Come here.
Stop.
Come here.
Don't fucking hit the dog.
That's my dog.
No, you don't fucking grab her.
That's my fucking dog. I do what the fuck I want
No,
with
you
my
don't
dog.
grab the
Don't
fucking
tell
dog.
me what I do when I'm on. Bro, this bitch is thinking she gave me a fucking...
Don't grab her. Stop! Baby, stop! What are you doing?
She knows because she knows she'll get hurt if she don't listen.
I imagine this brain-dead moron can't spell the word context, but I already know, in defense of this clip, he would try and point to the longer version for the full scoop, because you're only taking a snippet of it, it's out of context. Even though there's really no amount of context that justifies hitting your dog and making the dog yelp in pain, and then forcefully dragging it back into the room to throw onto your chair. But if you want the full version of this clip, which is also equally hard to watch and also still paints a very bad picture of this piece of shit, I'll go ahead and show you that too.
Come here.
It's okay.
Come here.
Peaches.
Come here, Peaches. Don't, bro, this bitch is thinking she gave me a fucking...
Don't grab her. Stop! Baby, stop! What are you doing?
This is my fucking dog. I don't give a fuck. Stay! Hey!
Stop!
Hey!
Stop!
Stay! This is my fucking dog. I don't give a fuck. You don't You're not taking my dog away from me. I don't give a fuck. You're not taking my fucking dog away from me.
She's in
the fuck?
pain.
Stay.
Stop.
You're not taking my fucking dog away from me. I don't give a fuck who you think you are.
The girl in the clip is trying to calm this raging dork down and try and remove the dog from a dangerous situation here from him. And he continues to fucking fee-fi-fo-fum his way around there and forcefully grabbing the dog and slamming it onto his chair, which again causes the dog to scream in pain and try and run away in terror from this menace. And I am pretty sure he tries to paint this as like a... oh, I just love my dog, and she was trying to separate me from my dog. This bitch is trying to take my dog. You won't take my dog away from me, my beloved pet that I cherish. Which is a bunch of dirty barnacles. He makes the dog cry multiple times here. The girl even points out, like, stop hitting the dog. And then at the end of that clip, he does, like, try and rub the dog's chest after he has slammed the dog onto that chair multiple times. He needs to have this dog removed from him. This is not fair to that animal at all.
That's so bad.
I'm literally gonna fucking kill this dog, bro.
This is not good.
You never come to that cage for 24 hours now, dumb bitch. Fuck it. Staying in there for the rest of her fucking life. She's staying in there for the rest of her fucking life. Fuck all that. That bitch is staying in there forever. Fuck that dog. I hope she fucking cries. I hope she fucking wants to commit suicide, that dumb bitch. I hope she jumps off the fucking balcony.
Wow, yeah, you can really feel the love. Regular old John Wick here with the amount that he cares for this animal. What a sane human being this is. It's fucking unhinged, man. In so many clips, this girl is constantly trying to get him to stop hitting the dog and stop, like, being really mean to the dog and, like, locking it up and threatening it.
I will fucking kill you in front of everyone right here. I will fucking kill you. Right now, I will fucking kill you right in front of fucking everyone. I will fucking kill you, alright? I will fucking kill you right here. I will break your fucking neck right here. Sit the fuck down. Dog, I'll literally kill this dog. I literally will kill this dog.
This is why this is her
Fucking sit.
Just look at some of these messages in his chat from these loveless, dickless homunculi. They get so excited every time he starts to talk about killing his dog or when he starts hitting his dog. So like this first one, Peaches need to be strangled. That's his dog's name. Clearly not a service dog. Beat that dumb service dog up. Bad dumb dog. Like, what the fuck? He is addicted to talking to his dog like it's a League of Legends ranked game. Like, this kind of shit here he tries to downplay as, like, not being super serious, and the community tries to delude themselves into thinking that he's just trolling, but I think it's pretty clear he does mean these things. He actively hits his dog. I think it's pretty clear we have a lot of evidence to indicate that he means this vile shit that he's spouting about his dog. I'm also very shocked that he even used that nomenclature, community, to describe what he has, because that's not what he has. He has, like, 4 people that tune in occasionally, and make like one message in chat every 10 minutes. Like, you can see it for yourself. The proof is in the pudding. Somehow this brain-dead worm thought it'd be a good idea to post his dead chat on screen, and that shit is not moving. That's going at a glacial pace. You're seeing more activity on Yahoo Answers than you will in one of his streams, and Yahoo Answers has been shut down, buried in the dirt for like 9 years. I cannot believe that he even puts that up there on his own accord. So he doesn't really have a viewer base or anything like that. But it doesn't matter. I couldn't help but talk about this guy because this is just infuriating. And I haven't seen another streamer so proudly just abuse their pet on stream like this. It's craziness.
Give it up. Give it up.
She is a pillhead and a borderline personality cunt. She is like only use me Blades X. Dealing. She is bad
If you
news.
don't shut up, if you don't shut your mouth, okay? If you don't shut your mouth, it's gonna be bad. If you don't shut your mouth, it's gonna be bad. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
This isn't all of them, but I don't think there's any need to show you more. This kind of thing is just heartbreaking. That dog seems like such a sweetheart that does not deserve to have an owner like this. No dog does. This shit is just so foul. Yeah, like, and another thing he'll do is he'll hit the dog really hard. He'll hit Peaches hard as fuck, and then very lightly, like in that first clip where he was sleeping. In fact, most of the clips you can find of this guy are sleeping on stream. That's like the main thing he does, is just fucking hibernate and hope people will donate while he's asleep. But anyway, you saw him lean over and just clobber Peaches on the snout, and then lightly tap Peaches on the head. And then he even had the gall to make a gesture up here to try and invite Peaches to come sleep on his chest. It's crazy how often and how proudly he does this shit, and even more crazy that there's like 6 or 7 weirdos that'll watch and cheer him on, encouraging the behavior. And I imagine that's a big motivator for this guy. He'll just bring Peaches on stream, threaten to kill the dog, and hit the dog quite a bit, and get some cheers and applause from these absolute fucking vermin that are watching him. But like I said, most of his clips that you'll find are him sleeping. That seems to be like the bulk of what he does, is just go to sleep while filming it. But his most popular clip isn't from his snoozing streams. It's actually from him threatening to shoot some kids. Like inviting them out so he can shoot them.
Where are you from? What's the
I'm
background?
from Toronto, kid. Pull up. Pull up. Your little ass gun that you never shot in your life. Show me the bullet.
No, man.
Exactly, you fucking fake ass gun, boy. Yeah, come pull up, boy. Come pull up.
Alright, let's
Please
fucking
come to
do
Toronto,
this,
pussy
mate.
boy.
Let's fucking do this. Alright,
Please
I'm gonna
come to
fucking bring my
Toronto.
fucking family,
Please come to
man.
Toronto, pussy boy.
Big
Come to
for
Toronto.
okay though, on or no.
Okay, yeah, really come to Toronto now. Really come to Toronto, pussy boy. Don't remember, I'll see you around, kid, and I'm gonna fucking light you up in them hollows. I swear to God I will.
Show me.
I'm my mom's life, and I ain't a federal little boy. I'm streaming right now, pussy boy. Yeah, come to Toronto. Record this, bitch, boy. Record this, pussy boy.
Oh yeah.
That can record like a good little bitch. Record like a good little bitch.
Incredible stuff. Riveting, really. I don't know the whole lore here of everything that happened. That seems like some real degenerate shit across the board. But I will say, that insult of like, record like a good little bitch, that falls really flat when you yourself are also recording. Brother, you're streaming it. That's 2 sides of the same coin. In fact, that's a step above recording it. Not exactly the optimal insult there. You kind of took some self-sustained damage on that one too. You hurt yourself in the confusion there as well, since that also included you. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this guy because I just can't fucking stand him. I think that this is completely unacceptable behavior to just be abusing your dog on stream. I think that shit super sucks. That's about it. See ya. I, like most people, enjoyed Neil deGrasse Tyson's work. I loved Cosmos, I liked Star Talk, and I thought of him as a very positive figure in the scientific community, making science fun for everyone, entertaining to a younger demographic, and just enjoyable overall. And that all changed when I followed him on Twitter. This dude's Twitter is fucking nuts. It seems like he's completely separated himself from even the most basic level of humanity. It's like he went so deep into the cosmos that he popped out of the universe's asshole, saw a bunch of shit that he didn't like, re-entered the universe's butthole like a finger during a prostate exam, and now he's just a weird Twitter lunatic. Today, in light of the recent tragedies, he had the audacity to tweet this shit out. Now, a lot of pseudo-intellectual Redditors were like, oh, why is everyone all upset? He's just spouting facts. And yes, while the statistics he lists here are accurate, although the medical death number there is a little misleading, I recommend you look into that and why it is the way it is right there. It doesn't matter because what his tweet here reads is, it basically just trivializes the mass shootings, which is such a fucked up take. It's like he's a death hipster. Yeah, I was appreciating deaths over 48 hours before it was cool by the media, as he fucking smokes a joint and then sniffs his own farts. It's such a horrible take on a tragedy, double tragedy. I just can't believe that he would sit there, look up the stats, because there's no way he knew it by memory. He just wanted to compare this to bigger numbers to try and trivialize it. Like, I don't understand what point he's making, to be honest. I guess the point he's making is people are dying all the time, but we only care when the media picks up on it. But that's such a weird fucking hill to die on, because the deaths he lists here, save for the deaths via handgun, are deaths that are actively being worked towards fixing. Shit that are accidents, literally accidents. The mass shootings were deliberate attempts to kill people. People going to Walmart to buy fucking yogurt and shit getting blasted by a lunatic. I can't even believe that he would compare something like that to a car accident. It's unbelievable to me, and it made me so fucking upset because, again, I did like this guy. I haven't liked him for a little while because I followed his Twitter, but man, he is so disconnected from just actual humanity. It's sickening. It's a guy, he's like the real life Rick Sanchez with no humor about him or wit or really anything good about Rick Sanchez. The only thing he has from Rick is that he's into science and he doesn't give a shit about anything, I guess. It's just so fucking wild to me. This is actually something we talked about on the official podcast today. This basically boils down to that argument people make all the time, like, shit, I got a bad grade and, you know, I hurt my ankle so I can't play basketball. I'm not doing well. I'm going through some shit. And then your friend or someone you don't really know that well says, oh yeah? Well, there's people starving in other parts of the world, so think about that for a little perspective. You don't have it that bad, Cody. It's really not that bad compared to someone else. Just invalidating what you're going through, trivializing it because people have it worse. Which is incredibly fucking stupid because no one has the right to tell you how you should be feeling. It's like the same thing with depression. Oh, why are you depressed? You have all this good shit going for you. By that same metric, no one should be allowed to be happy except for Jeff Bezos. Because he is the happiest man in the world, so how could anyone else be happy? Oh, what are you happy for? Oh, you just graduated college? Yeah, Jeff Bezos has $100 billion. Why are you happy, pussy? Does that sound right? Let's get rid of happiness because no one's as happy and well off as Jeff Bezos. It's the stupidest fucking argument. It's downright deplorable. And it's exactly what Neil has done with mass shootings. Imagine him saying this to the families of one of the victims. Yeah, hey look, I know your son was just killed in this shooting, but did you know 200 some people are dying every 48 hours from suicide? You really shouldn't get this emotional just because it's a spectacle. Oh, thank you, Neil. Yes, I needed that statistical drop of wisdom right there. You telling me that makes it a much easier pill to swallow. Thank you so much, Neil, for your sage advice. You omniscient being of science. It's just, I have no fucking idea what you're doing with this tweet. I really just don't get it. It's so fucked up. I just can't believe that anyone would defend that complete lack of sympathy or really just lack of emotion in general. Here's some cold hard statistics that are in no way related to a mass shooting, but these are bigger numbers, so bang, I'm just gonna jerk that off onto Twitter. Enjoy my science, dick. I really just can't stand this guy anymore. His whole Twitter is like this. The tweet right underneath this one, the one he tweeted before this, also grinds my nutsack to a dust as well. Fucking mortar and pestles it into a fine powder. It's about a poster for a horror movie that has a snowflake on it, and Neil deGrasse Tyson gives this little, oh, this is a very accurate snowflake. Oh, if I was an elementary school teacher, I would be giving this one an A+. It is the most scientifically accurate representation of a snowflake I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. It's amazing. What a snowflake. That's his whole fucking Twitter feed. He is literally the meme of, well, actually, as he wiggles his finger into a conversation. That's his whole goddamn Twitter. I know he had that viral tweet a while back, you know, when Lord of the new Hobbit movie came out, and he's like, hey, well, if the hobbits were actually this short, their digestive tract would be very small, and their shits would be only about 5 centimeters long. Get a load of that. They wouldn't be taking big shits at all, and their feet couldn't be that big. It was just stupid garbage nonsense. And not even a week ago, Neil deGrasse Tyson was snorting lines of coke and tweeting, melting down about the fucking Disney Frozen 2 snowflake not being an accurate representation of a snowflake. And then he, you know, makes this whole hoopla about it because God forbid an animation be a little bit different in its representation of a snowflake. So Neil deGrasse Tyson's just the preeminent expert on all things snowflake related, and shame on Disney for not contacting him about how it should look in their movie. I don't know if this was supposed to be a joke, but it doesn't read as a joke, it doesn't work as a joke, and then he goes on to like justify him criticizing it and wanting it changed. So he clearly didn't frame it as a joke. He was just like, hey, this is fucking wrong, and I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I'm putting my whole fucking dick in here. And I just don't get it. This man doesn't understand like humanity anymore. All he understands is garbage, Twitter garbage, and shit like that. He's a shit poster, an edgelord shit poster now. I just don't know what's gone on. He's just become, well, it's not even he's become, his whole Twitter's been like this, but he's just this fucking Twitter asshole, man. And it's super sad. But he's been like a harmless edgelord. Like the Disney Frozen 2 shit, that's pretty trivial in comparison to his tweet today. That's just downright evil in my opinion. Yeah, let me go ahead and take this stance on it where only 34 people died. Look at all these other people that have died over 48 hours. Pretty silly in comparison, right? You guys only care about the big spectacles. You're such a fucking asshole, Neil. You really are, man. Just take a step back and realize the kind of shit that you're saying and how it comes across. I really don't even know your intention behind the tweet. Some people are saying, oh, he had a good intention behind it but framed it wrong and phrased it wrong in a bad way. But I don't see how that's ever a good intention, to point out other problems that people are aware exist and are actively trying to work on, whereas mass shootings in the US are a huge problem that no one really has a solution on. So what's the point in comparing the two? There's no overlap. Yeah, they're both problems. That's the only thing they have in common. It's just so insensitive and fucked up. That's about it. So yeah.
Piotr Zarek. I'm saying the name out loud immediately at the start of this video so that way I don't forget how to pronounce his name. I'm sure I'm going to fumble it later on, but at the very least you can say I got it right once. Anyway, he has made such a colossal fool of himself that he has torched not only his reputation, but that of his company as well. Piotr Zarek, Piotr Zarek, it's crazy how quickly I already forgot how to say his name, Goober, is a Polish CEO and multi-millionaire. He is the CEO of a company called Drogbrook. And I think I pronounced that incorrectly as well because I made that sound like a Warhammer 40k weapon. And right now he's like one of the most hated people on the planet for a clip that just went insano style. This is far from the first time something like this has happened, but I've mainly seen it in baseball, where some oily dude who looks like he sweats grease and is anamorphing into a hot dog ends up like catching a baseball that was intended for a kid next to him. And in those cases, they typically try and cope by saying, oh, I thought it was for me, I wasn't sure, we were all trying to catch the ball, something like that. This is probably one of the most blatant cases, though. So, this is a tennis player named Matrzak. He was giving his hat to a kid, and the Polish CEO, Piotr, he had another idea right there. He fucking intercepts that, he snatches it out of the kid's hands, and then you can even hear the kid say, no, what are you doing? And the answer to that question is simple. He's looking out for number one. You don't get to be top of the food chain, big time CEO without taking a little candy from some babies. That's exactly what he's doing. He's giving this kid a life lesson. You thought you were getting a gift? Nope. Sometimes it's not Santa Claus that pays you a visit, it's Krampus. And right now he's coming in the form of a scrawny douchebag CEO named Piotr. And the story has a much worse ending for him than it does for the kid, because this blew up to such an incredible degree that Matrzak was able to actually learn about it and then meet up with that kid later to give him another hat as well as an autograph, so the kid got to meet him and everything. Meanwhile, Piotr receives the ire and all of the tomatoes thrown by the entire world, and his company is now going up in flames because of his behavior here. But at least he has that hat that he took out of a kid's hands, I guess. That can go over the fireplace mantle, I suppose. Now, I feel like I should put this in here somewhere because it's receiving so much steam. There is allegedly a statement from Piotr himself. There are even some outlets reporting this as like an official response, but I can find no evidence that Piotr or anyone that represents him actually made this statement. This to me feels like that initial Coldplay CEO situation where after he was caught cheating, there was a statement put out on his behalf even though he had nothing to do with it and it ended up being completely fraudulent and false. That to me feels like what this is because it is so comically villainous that I just don't believe it, and I can't find like any actual evidence to support its authenticity, but I'm going to put it here anyway because everyone seems to be talking about it. I would say take this with a grain of salt. I'm not convinced this actually comes from him. This is what people are claiming is the original, and then when you translate it, you get this. The recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. I love that statement. Like, even though I think this isn't real, I just love the famous hat. As if it's like the #1 soda drink hat from SpongeBob with Smitty Jensen, whatever his name was. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always said, life is first come, first served. I understand that some people might not like it, but please let's not make a global scandal out of the hat. It's just a hat. If you were faster, you would have it. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. In the end, chin up, hats off, less venom, more sportsmanship. Like I said, I don't actually believe this comes from Piotr or anyone who represents him. I think it's just a bunch of fish paste here. It's too over the top. And someone like Piotr, a multi-millionaire CEO, would absolutely have a lawyer or a PR firm put out a statement on his behalf that definitely wouldn't have, yes, I did it, and yes, I did it quickly. If you were faster, you wouldn't have lost it. If you're not first, you're last. Though that would be a crazy twist if this is actually real, and that's the statement they made. Adult reflexes are faster. I was just... evolution chose me to be the recipient of that hat. If that kid was meant to have it, well, then he should have acted quicker. Grow up, nerd. Could have been your hat if you were half the man as me. I would be very shocked to learn that this is real. I really think it's just way too over the top. And it seems like it is meant to be in your face and, like, eye-catching and incendiary. I imagine another, like, motivator for something like this isn't just to, like, take the piss. It's probably to further, like, ruin the reputation of the person. So people will make, like, really inflammatory pieces like this, like with the Coldplay CEO. So that way people get even more upset. And a surefire way of doing that is threatening legal action against people that speak out against him. That is, like, the #1 sign that it's probably fake. While legal action is something a lot of these, like, rich fucking out-of-touch zombies in suits do, I can't imagine, and I certainly haven't seen many cases, of them coming out and being like, if you say anything mean about me, you're being sued. That, so far, has been mainly reserved for fake statements like this. That definitely wouldn't be in there, and it also wouldn't have, like, a sign-off with, like, like fucking poetry. Chin up, less venom, hats off, that kind of thing. That's like almost like a Sonic the Hedgehog level thing there. That's just, it's not real. I don't think this is legitimate. There's also another statement, apparently from a law firm in Poland who is representing Piotr, who is making legal threats about people that are insulting him and slandering him online, which I can find no evidence to being true. I haven't seen that law firm make any statements about the, actual case here that they're representing Piotr in or anything of the sort. It all just seems like a wild goose chase here. This seems to be the new common trend where anytime there's like a big drama story, a bunch of people will scramble to make up some fake shit around it so they can post it online for some immediate updates to try and get paid off of like Twitter engagement farming. That seems to be the goal of it, and it just creates a bunch of confusion and muddies the waters, so then you don't know what's true and what's not with it. I did also want to drop this little nugget here in your lap that I learned about. So he is apparently an amateur competitive tennis player himself, whom I imagine is going to be the heel going forward in all of his matches. Most people are probably going to be booing him from this point forward when he competes. And he actually has a private tennis court at his home, and his wife was quoted saying, "It was the most wonderful gift of my life. Our employees came up with the idea, and my husband helped them implement it." Now, far be it from me to question the workplace culture here. You're telling me the employees said that their boss deserves to have his own private tennis court? It was their idea? Really? I don't... Does that happen in Polish companies? Do the employees love their bosses so much that they get together and say, "We want our boss to have his own private tennis court"? Can we do that? Come on, guys, let's band together and let's try and pitch this idea to our boss that he should have his own private tennis court in his home. What do we say, huh? What do you say about that? He's a superstar. We love him. I'm just trying to imagine that perspective over here in America in the corporate world. Like, Bill Gates does an interview. It's like, yeah, I wasn't convinced that I needed a 4 billion mile yacht, but, well, all my Microsoft employees said, "Bill, you deserve it." So I said, okay, I guess for you guys, I'll go ahead and try and find a way to get that made. I don't know, it just feels so weird to me, that statement. I mean, maybe the employees really do love him and they all banded together to try and help him with the private tennis court as like a good idea. I don't know. He doesn't really seem like a guy that's easy to love. He's literally taking a fucking hat meant for a kid at a tennis court in front of everybody. No shame at all. Even when the kid's like talking directly to him, he just ignores the kid, pretending he can't hear him. He doesn't seem like really a great guy that a lot of people would cheer for and be behind, but I guess maybe this is just one of his lower moments. Maybe he didn't even see the kid there. Maybe he thought the hat was meant for him. And the resistance from the kid, maybe he thought the kid was trying to steal the hat from him. Who knows? Maybe there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I'm kidding. Obviously there's not. There's no way to justify blatantly just taking this hat from the kid. I don't know. The guy seems like he super sucks. Anyway, Piotr, big douchebag. That's about it. See ya. I stream often, and boy howdy do I put on an exquisite show if I do say so myself, but don't just take my word for it, ask everyone that shows up. When you come to my streams, you get to see me without my makeup on, you get me raw, you get to hear me pee when nature calls, and you get to hear me rant. And one of the things I love to rant about is how much insurance is a scam. In particular, health insurance. Surprise, surprise. My feelings on it are no secret. I've screamed it from the mountaintops for a couple years now. I think I've only made like 1 or 2 videos on it, but stream regulars are probably tired of hearing me bitch about it. But can't help it. I think it is one of the most diabolical, corrupt, evil industries that operates in this country right now. It is deplorable. I think it is a schmeckeldorfing goblin that's taking people's money and eating their ass, waiting for them to die. You pay health insurance providers for years, and then when you need them, you ask them to help with something major. They do everything in their power to not do that. Their job, their goal, and they even use AI now to help with this, is to deny these claims. That's where they make their bread and butter. You pay them for one purpose, and their goal is to find ways of not doing the one thing they're designed for. It's like if you bought a washing machine that only sometimes decides it'll wash your clothes, but it picks and chooses which ones you're allowed to wash inside of it. It's so stupid. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I am somehow still surprised at the depravity of this industry. United Healthcare just threatened legal action against a doctor who recently went viral when she was talking about how United Healthcare pulled her out of an active operation in order to ask her if an overnight stay was really necessary. I'll go ahead and play that clip before we dive into this threat from United Healthcare.
I just did 2 bilateral deeps and 2 bilateral tissue expanders for patients. And I've never had this happen before, but during the second deep, I got a phone call into the operating room saying that United Healthcare wanted me to call them about one of the patients who was having surgery today, who was actually asleep having surgery, and said I had to call right now. So I scrubbed out of my case and I called United Healthcare, and the gentleman said he needed some information about her, wanted to know her diagnosis and whether her inpatient stay should be justified. And I was like, do you understand that she's asleep right now? And she has breast cancer. And the gentleman said, actually, I don't. That's a different department that would know that information. And I was like, well, she does need to stay overnight tonight. And, you have all the information with you because I got approval for this surgery and I need to go back and be with my patient now. But, yeah, it's out of control.
Out of control doesn't even begin to describe it. My moose knuckle is out of control when I slip into a pair of joggers. This is beyond out of control. This is just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Health insurance companies are at their happiest when you are at your worst. When they deny a claim and get to save a little bit of money there, pinch a few pennies, avoiding doing the thing you pay them for, they pop champagne over your cold fucking corpse. And don't worry, you'll go to Valhalla knowing that at least United Healthcare made a little extra money at the bottom line. In a just world, this shit would be outlawed. It's just unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. So, she's describing United Healthcare apparently pulling her out of a procedure in order to check with her if this is something that's actually justified. Yeah, asshole, it is justified, I would think. And also, now you are putting the patient at risk, interrupting an active procedure. It's craziness. It's craziness. Just actually flabbergasted by this story. I'm spitting. I don't know if you could see that. It was a water fountain of spit there. So much saliva. Point is, this doctor was in the middle of a procedure, and United Healthcare made her stop so that way they could see if they could find a way of denying this claim, which eventually they did, by the way. They did deny that claim, allegedly. That claim, it did get denied. Shocker from United Healthcare, the health insurance company with the most denied claims in the nation. Also, now that there's this prevalence of AI to help deny claims, they're getting even more efficient with it, something I'm sure they're very proud of. It's unbelievable. I've already talked about that video quite a bit on stream, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it. You can see the lunacy. You can, with your own peepers, your own functioning frontal lobe, you can watch what the doctor's saying there and be pretty outraged by it. Justifiably so. Now, United Healthcare is slapping back saying that it's a load of hooey. This is all just dirty barnacles. It's a false claim, and the doctor's spreading misinformation, and so they're threatening her with a lawsuit about it. We're going to go through that because, United Healthcare doesn't really have the best reputation when it comes to telling the truth. And it's just a shocking move from them to play this hardball here in the wake of everything they've been going through. Their CEO got banished to the Shadow Realm not that long ago, and people are still celebrating that. And the company, instead of trying to, take that as a message of, wow, people hate us for some reason, maybe we should, reflect and see what we can do to be better, they're instead being worse. They are actively being worse. It's like they dislike that people don't like them, so they're trying to give them even more reasons to hate them. Like, oh, you guys already don't like us? Well, fuck it, we're gonna stop pretending to care. It's scorched earth now, we're not paying for shit. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if United Healthcare initiates a new protocol where they start stationing agents at every hospital in order to monitor everything and just deny shit on the spot. Nope. I wrote this down on the clipboard. It's only 2 broken legs. The morphine will not be covered by us. Unnecessary. Not justified. And then going into every surgical procedure. Stop everything! Halt! We're denying this one. This surgery is this is frivolous. It's a frivolous surgery. The patient is more than capable of living his life without a liver or a kidney. So why are we doing this transplant? This is ridiculous. Denied. He's faking it. Anyway, though, let's dive back into the meat and focus on what the actual topic is here today. So that post came from a surgeon, Elizabeth Potter. It blew up on TikTok and Instagram, and now UHC, they're pouting. They're really upset. So they're accusing her of libel, and also there was some threats of legal retaliation if she didn't comply, which was taking the videos down and issuing a public apology. They wanted her to grovel at their feet, kiss their little tootsies, and basically say, I was wrong about everything. They accused her of knowingly sharing misinformation and also hosting threats against the company's executives because people in the comments were obviously making references to the assassination.
Your claims are false. You clearly know they are false. You falsely laid the blame for your office's error on United Healthcare publicly, unleashing a firestorm of dangerous misinformation. We expect you to promptly correct this publicly by removing your videos and posting a public apology. The cease and desist has been reported by Bloomberg. Also, United Healthcare hired the preeminent defamation law firm Claire Locke, which has a really impressive resume in defamation cases. Hey, big fuck you to Claire Locke. You should deny this one. Of course they're not going to. They're going to try and hose United Healthcare for all they're worth in this defamation case that they're mounting against a surgeon who is just spreading the word about how fucking corrupt this company is. Now, she did post on her Instagram saying, I recently shared a video after I was asked to call United Healthcare from the operating room to answer administrative questions about the patient who was having surgery to treat breast cancer. Despite my efforts, they denied her stay. Wow. What saints over there at UHC really looking after the care of their clients. That's, wow, man. The benevolent gods over at UHC. We are so lucky that we get to suckle their bosom, and they take care of us. They help us in our time of need. That's so lovely. Denied her stay. That's so fucking par for the course for this company. I spoke out because this has simply gone too far. I'm sharing United Healthcare's letter to me in its entirety. I'll let it speak for itself. My words were true and the situation was absurd. I followed all safety protocol and my patient was with my co-surgeon who continued operating. I had requested an overnight stay for medical reasons. This was not an error on my part. I also think most normal, rational people would also think that probably an overnight stay after a very serious breast cancer surgery operation makes sense. That tracks. That doesn't seem like they're trying to get one over on United Healthcare over there. I feel like that's definitely something that's super justified, but hey, United Healthcare, they've got AI now helping them out to deny these claims. Like, they're really good at this shit now. The gaslighting and harassment in the letter which United sent me has not worked to do anything other than strengthen my resolve. I will continue to speak honestly, clearly, and plainly about the state of healthcare in the United States of America. That's great news that she's not folding to this intimidation. I really hope this goes her way. I believe her story. And do you know why? Because there are thousands of horror stories with United Healthcare. Ask anybody on the street if they've had a positive experience with their healthcare provider. I would imagine you'd be hard-pressed to find a single, even lukewarm response like, oh, it was okay, I guess. No, it's almost always entirely negative with these companies, and United Healthcare is legitimately, statistically, provably the worst one. They have the most denied claims. If you gathered every grain of sand on planet Earth and piled it all together, it probably wouldn't even amount to the amount of denied claims United Healthcare is responsible for at this point. It's just out of control. Completely out of control. So yeah, I just had to rant about this again. I could not believe this when Matt sent it to me, that United Healthcare has the fucking chutzpah to threaten this surgeon after she spoke about her experience with an absurd situation with this company. Unbelievable. That's about it. So yeah.
I just said thank you 50,000 times. Don't believe me? Why don't you play that back at 0.00001 speed? Thank you truly though for 50k subs. It's pretty awesome.
That's
now
big.
Enough of us to
Congrats,
battle head on
Gunner.
against the entire
Nice.
population of Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Gunner's
They had that
killing
one coming.
it.
But content houses, the lucrative business model of the 21st century that promises aspiring teenage influencers fame success with just one trade-off.
Marisa Bras.
You have to live in a giant fucking mansion and make TikToks. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Silly spoiled children and your silly spoiled dreams. However, this shady business goes deeper than one might expect, with the same industry players causing problems time and time again for everyone involved, often ending in a house's ultimate demise. Today we're answering the question, why do all content houses fail? Or at least most of them. I wasn't going to get your attention by titling the video, why do 98% of content houses
They all
fail?
fail though. I can't think of any that
back
happened.
off. Just not off the video. Keep watching.
The world of social media.
I'm going to speculate before Gunner gives us this scientific explanation. I think the reason the content houses fail is because the influencers living there eventually just get tired of being around each other and move out, and it fizzles out. A slow bleed. The Sidemen survived? Yeah, true. Okay, fair. But that's more of like a content group, not just like a central content house, I would argue. I'd say Sidemen transcend just a house. Same with OTK. Again, OTK is more than just a house. They're like a full group. Like, I wouldn't ever say those are content houses. They're just content
teams. When I think of Content House, I think of like Hype House, Team. Was it Team 7? Or was that the group that made Worms? What was Jake Paul's group called? Team what? Team 10. Yeah. Team 10. Cloud House. What was that really fucking stinky TikTok one that wasn't the Hype House? It was the other one. That was like the Bryce Hall group or some shit. What were they? They had like a whole reality show. Sway? Was it Sway House? I don't remember. But yeah, I think the reason all that shit fails is just egos clashing and they eventually just get tired of being around each other.
Say I'm an asshole. Basically are saying take it until, you know, a tragedy happens, which is going to happen here.
Well, that guy was wrong. Still no tragedies. Except for the fact that they still exist, I guess.
A little trailer action? I've never done that one before. I'm personally fired up. And me right now, I haven't even made the video yet. I hope Future Gunner delivers on that shit.
Fucking trying, man.
The idea of content houses is nothing new. Just look at Team 10, Hype House, Sway House, Clubhouse. The Sway House, unfortunately, launched and still tries to sell Sway pre-workout products as if the house is still running. Boys, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think people are going to buy from a brand that's based on you guys living together when you guys don't live together. Also, your fan base are little girls.
They're definitely still buying.
Energy bars, sheesh. With that said, let's meet Tyler Pauly. Tyler, thank you for coming today. It's an honor to have you. Oh my God, who put that there? How did that? I'm so sorry.
I don't see anyone else here.
It wasn't me. That's really embarrassing. I hope we can get.
Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed.
He looks like Machine Gun Kelly.
We'll move forward.
But like,
a bump in the road.
You were one of the founding members.
You know, the parties, the trash, the neighbors. I left before that. Way before that.
Also, real quick, question in the chat. I noticed this tattoo on a bunch of dudes these days. I actually think it's a pretty cool tattoo, but what does it mean? Why do so many dudes get this forearm tattoo that's just like a dark tree? What is it? Where did that come from? I first started noticing it like 5 years ago, and it's still getting just more and more popular. Cock veins, I guess? Veiny cock vein. Well, like, so it started because of cock veins? That's how it got popular? I mean, I know it's a tree and shit. Like, I'm not confused at what I'm looking at. I'm just wondering, like, why? Who made it popular? But it does look fine. Like, I actually think it's a cool design. I was just wondering.
My household raised me differently from others' households. So it's like, it's a huge equation for disaster because it's just a bunch of us young, reckless kids living in a nice house, doing all this cool shit.
You made it to LA,
pretty
kid.
cool.
This is your moment. It's time to shine. Let's ruin the neighbor's day.
Jeff and his wife live directly next door and say night and day they're dealing with large gatherings, loud pool parties, and non-permitted film shoots. Cars constantly speed up and down outside their home, and their Nest Cam captures the parties spilling into the street, partygoers drinking, getting intimate, and even defecating.
The girl who squats in the street starts to pee, so that's always good.
Well, that's not defecating, that's urinating. What kind of fucking clickbait is this? The news lady said defecating. That means fucking shitting, not tinkling. I hate false advertising. Unbelievable. Amber Heard showed up. True. Dropped a little Amber turd.
I used to
literally 7:38 in the morning.
This could have all been avoided if they just invited that guy. Seems like he wanted to go.
Morning, she finds used condoms outside her house.
Okay, even my empathetic party self is feeling pretty bad for the neighbors at this point. 9 consecutive nights of partying, even people that went to both weekends of Coachella are wincing at that. But once again, you have
that's a lot. That's like biblical. Like 40 days, 40 nights of rain.
Collaborative TikToks and videos as possible. So it only makes sense that the new.
I got bit by rats from their place and had to go home early to Seattle because I was gonna get rat bite fever.
Of course, the house tried to deny these claims for PR's sake, but it didn't help when one Trip Crib member uploaded a TikTok with a dead rat visible in the pool behind it.
When we visited the house, one of the young men seen in the videos came out at one point.
Hey, stunt
when
rat.
asked about the parties, said there had been none, and that, quote, we're just kids.
And I think that statement kind of says it all. They're just kids. They're really, really stupid, them. And then you also have the influencers and the content house manager that represents them. For the Hype House, this is Thomas Petro. For the Clubhouse, this was Daisy Keach. And for the Drip Crib, this was a guy named Devian Young. The sole biggest thing that can bring down a content house is having the wrong person in this position. And oh boy, is Devian Young a case study on being a bad pick.
We have a whole bunch of Karens and racist neighbors. They have threatened us with violence, which is on, online. The videos are out there. They threatened.
Can I see one?
Racist comments. They verbally assaulted us and they physically assaulted us. They've even sprayed water from a water hose at us. So you guys have to do your homework before you guys believe stuff that random people say on the internet.
Right, okay, so interesting
So we'll
strategy here.
take
Don't
his
take
word for it.
accountability.
A random
Instead,
person on the
flip
internet.
it and blame the neighbors for being mad at you about the continuous parties and actually claim that they physically assaulted you. You know how I can tell he's lying and his neighbors didn't actually assault him is that, remember, this is what they looked like. They're all over 70. If grandpa and grandma here were to attack you, you could end their life with a single karate chop. They even...
You don't know that. Hold on a second. Let's not be selling Jeff Oaken short here. That guy looks like he's seen the birth of the universe. This guy's been around the block. That man could throw some lunchbox hands, no doubt in my goddamn mind. He actually reminds me of my neighbor back when I was a kid. When I was a child, my parents had these neighbors that were fucking crazy. They always dressed in pure white, and they'd go outside in like a white mask and everything to get their mail in the mailbox, and they would only ever leave their house via taxi in the early mornings and come back at the late nights. But it was fucking cool. They looked pretty much like that guy. So that's pretty... It might even be this guy. So that's pretty nostalgic. KKK? No, it wasn't like white hoods. Like, when I say mask, I mean like a half mask. Like what people wore, like still wear out in public. That's what they would wear over their face. Like for dust or something. Because they'd sweep their driveway really often. Yeah, they're fucking wild. That's a cult. It might have been part of a cult, I couldn't tell you, but it looked pretty much just like that.
Sometimes they spray us with water.
Oh, okay. So they hosed you down with the nozzle set to light sun shower drizzle mode. Not exactly the high pressure crowd control hose I was envisioning, but okay. But yeah, no,
It's
just
pretty
call
much
them
the same,
racist
to be
and
honest.
don't show any video proof, but say the videos are definitely out there somewhere online. You know, you can do the research, you can find it. Despite Jeff here seeming quite reasonable.
And we're for them. We want them to get sponsors and make gazillions of dollars, but we're not for them doing it at everybody's expense.
So who is Devion?
What a nice
What's his
guy.
background and age? Outside of that, from what Tyler tells me, Devion was a management nightmare for the house from the very beginning.
You had mentioned before that the house was supposed to be ready at a certain date, and it just wasn't, right?
Yeah, so he was like, you need to be here by this date for the house. Me and my best friend drove in a Honda Civic, like a two-door Honda Civic with a 5x8 U-Haul behind us with both of our bedrooms packed into it. Across the country, last minute notice to make this happen, to be there by this date. We get there and he's like, yeah, the house isn't gonna be ready for like another month. So he slaps us in Studio City, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 5 of us in there. And then we all shared this bathroom for an entire month.
It's never a great
Jesus
sign to be
Christ.
having major house.
And it basically stated like, you're gonna pay $2K a month to be a part of this house, and that covers your rent. And within all of that, it's gonna cover PR services, it's gonna cover
What?
brand deals. Like, it was just supposed to be like an all-inclusive payment for
What do you need as a TikToker for a PR service? On TikTok, you don't even have to like apologize. You just keep posting shit and people will just forget. That's like the least important position imaginable, I think. Damn, these guys just got hosed. Devion was squeezing them.
your big butt hurt.
Hear that out loud again. They all already spent $2,000 on the assumption that they were going to be getting their own rooms just to show up, have Devion take the master suite, and put the rest of them in shared rooms and closets. This is a good first example of how managers try to lock influencers into contracts with no promise of delivery.
What was the delivery on the brand deals?
Nothing.
Hey, so you weren't happy? What?
I didn't make $1 from him.
Man, what the fuck?
$8,000 or
Why are you
so
upset?
that I sent to him for rent, down the drain. I kind of cracked down on Devion and I had a conversation with him and I was like, yo, like if you can't do a simple like task of bringing me a couple $100s worth of a brand deal in this month, I was like, I'm not going to be able to pay you rent for next month. And he literally looks at me, eye contact, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, all right.
So put yourself in Tyler's Gucci flip-flops for a second. You rushed out to LA just to share a...
Damn. So, people will literally just give money to a complete stranger like that under the pretense that they're gonna get clout? Because Devion doesn't even have like a strong following based on the pictures Gunner pulled up. Man just like said, hey, give me $2,000 a month and I'll bring you fucking Heelys, laser beams from your eyes, and you'll work with Coca-Cola. And then he just buys a mansion with it to live in for himself. Kids do. Yeah, I guess that's just like the TikTok crowd. So he was getting $2,000 a month from all 5 of them. That's not pennies.
it.
Tyler firmly believes that Devion put the whole house together in the first place to have them help promote his music career and other
Did it work?
endeavors, and not so much caring about the brand deals. Which, by the way, is totally okay, just don't make them all sign contracts promising to be anything more than a roommate that just happens to be responsible for collecting rent. However,
Let's see. Did that strategy work? So he got some money, but did he suckle from the coveted titty of clout? What was his name? Big Mansion album release party in LA. Swipe for more info. Just dropped my debut major album, or major EP prelude to my album. It's got 100,000 streams in 12 hours. Link in the bio. Okay. I'm assuming it's on like his website, imdevion.com. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so we'll go to imdevion. His biggest song has 500k streams. That's pretty good. It's Ice Gang. So the scamming, I guess, helped? I don't know, man. He has 8,000 monthly listeners. That's pretty good. I guess. He scammed a bunch of young TikTokers and got 8,000 listeners. Play it? No, I don't want to play it. This is the kind of guy that would absolutely try and get like DMCA out here.
Now, a talent agency is the head honcho. They basically manage the connections between the influencers and the brands they work with. Basically what Devion said he was going to do for the Drip Crib members. Typically, they work on an individual level with a client, but these content houses were an opportunity that simply couldn't be ignored. What if I could get all of these idiots signed underneath my agency collectively? This idea brought many new opportunistic faces to the table. Take Amir Ben Yohanan, for instance, the 48-year-old man who owned the media group behind the Clubhouse, whose apparently only known picture on the internet is this photo. The fuck? To quote Amir, you thought of TikTok as kids messing around and looked down on it. But
how did he secure all of those big
children
TikTokers?
were with the world, he decided he wanted to cash in
Hey
on what he
kids,
saw
come
as
sign
a
with me.
modern-day gold rush.
Swear to God,
He
I'm
would
not
later
Dan
have
Schneider.
allegations made against. One member claimed in response to telling him that they felt overworked, he said, "You guys are probably on your period," which is so bad. Imagine you send your 15-year-old daughter out to LA to make it big, and suddenly she's being yelled at by a 48-year-old man named Amir Ben Yohanan. Again, only picture of him that exists on the internet for not
God, that
making
actually
enough
looks
content.
fake.
And actually, her being upset is because she has a vagina. Look, honey, we got a schedule to stay on top of, okay? You're not overworked or overstressed. You're probably just on your menstrual cycle.
Thanks for your sub, Aman.
But the content cycle stops for nobody. Now make me some goddamn TikToks. I want to start
Sounds
a new
about right,
internet
Mac.
trend called the Amir Challenge, where if you unjustly upset a woman this week, I want you to look her into the eyes and say, did I really do something wrong, or is it just that time of the month again? And it should, I think, go over really well for you every time, I think. Now, while
Probably a
talent
pretty effective
agency is
strategy,
typically in the
honestly.
business of Brittany Broski, who went
Thank
mega
you, Botez
viral for her
sisters.
kombucha tasting TikTok, was approached by
Super
Ari,
sweet, I appreciate
allegedly
that.
DMing her, "Have you made any money?" I'll translate to malicious talent agency language. That means, how much of that shit can I take? Brittany ended up signing a contract with Ariana, and 9 months
you had a
later
great stream.
realized that she wasn't getting paid from any of her brand deals. She would go on to say that Ari was withholding some $23,000 in fees,
not
and
bad.
that she was even squatting on her domain, BrittanyBroski.com. How
What
bad?
a good
One of the
name.
housemates.
Virtual squatting. Yeah, they're it's a very common thing. People snatch up domains just so that way, like, when a company or business might need it, they have to pay that person for it. So it's been around since the beginning of the .coms. I used to give some paleo. Someone squatted on the Moist Esports Twitter not long ago, if you guys remember that, and then tried to get a lot of money out of me for it, but I just didn't care enough, so I just said I'll just make a different one. And then he eventually just said, fuck, fine, sorry, I just wanted money. I'm a college student. And I was like, that's fine, bro, here's $100. So now we have the official Moist Esports one.
When the house ended, the girls did this to the walls on their way
Ooh.
out, which...
Let me take a peek. Oh, that definitely violates their NDA. That was probably like rule number 1 of the NDA. You can't say anything mean about Ari. Come on now. And who is this? That's not Ari. She doesn't look like that. Grow up.
Now, Ariana
heard
Jacob
of that one
blames this
before.
article for the fall of her business and losing all 85 of her clients. She
Oof.
denies damn near every claim made in the article, going as far as to sue the New York Times for $6.2 million.
Damn, she
in
sounds
ongoing
miserable.
lawsuit. Your Honor, people
Thanks
are
for
only
some lemon
upset
lime.
at me because I'm a visionary. And they're probably all in their periods anyway. Amir chimed in. Ariana Jacob's Instagram bio now reads, "Kindness and empathy are number 1. Cancel culture sucks? rise above it. Ariana,
Nice.
you lost all 85 of your clients. Do you think maybe the problem might be internal? That no one stuck with you or spoke up against this article's publication? But no, just ignore that. Maybe Tucker Carlson can help you win that fight against those liberal cucks at the New York Times while you figure that one out.
She did have a lot of kindness to
So why do
distribute.
all content houses fail? Well,
Fucking
it simply
kindness
comes down
dealer.
to poor picks of management at the house and agency level. Look, I contemplated putting a big section together with my prescriptions on the different content house models and how a manager could optimally put a house together, making it proper.
Real quick, is Tucker Carlson the guy that just made that video about dudes' testicles being tanned, making you more of a man? But it just ended up basically being porn? It is? That was him? Nice. That was fake? Was it fake? I don't know a whole lot about it. It may very well have been fake. But I saw like the trailer for it. They just had like a bunch of naked dudes tanning their nuts. There was one where I'm pretty sure the guy's legs were like over his head with his nuts towards the sun or something. It was crazy. It was real? I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about it. I just saw like little clips.
Here's Tyler's advice on if you're looking to join a startup house.
If you get the opportunity, personally, this opportunity put me in a position to where I'm at now that I'm like very grateful for. So like, you know, don't be afraid to take the risk, but at the same time, know what you're getting yourself into, know who you're working with, realistically.
Well, Tyler, it was great to have you. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. I do have one more thing for you. I need you to sign this NDA. It's just your standard NDA.
What? There's nothing crazy?
Just, you know, that we can use your image and likeness.
Thanks
that
the
you
bits.
can never talk shit about me legally.
Vile.
Okay.
That a man named Esteban from Mexico City can also legally snap your kneecaps if you say my name even once. Sign right there. Yep, great. That's perfect.
Hollywood,
Do you need any other
baby.
signatures?
No, we'll just photocopy it.
It looks like a pretty hefty NDA. I mean, I don't really have time to look through this shit anyways.
No, yeah, of course. Influencers don't.
Huge shout out to Tyler Pauly for helping out with this video.
That was
He
nice
took
of
a
him to do that,
risk-sharing
though, for
experience
sure.
that he didn't have to, so please go show him some support at Tyler Pauly on Instagram. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Once again, for the full, much longer interview with Tyler, it'll be posted to my Patreon for all member tiers to watch. At the time of this video's release, if it's not up now, it will be very shortly. Subscribe and follow me at Gunnar Klein on Instagram to apply to
Introduce a bang
join
in the
my
bits,
content house
please.
called The Gunner House. And no, I'm not open to changing the name.
Another banger. Good shit, Gunner. Overall, I'm a pretty calm guy. It takes a lot to make me mad or angrily cry into an anime waifu body pillow's tits. But that being said, there are certain things on the internet in relation to YouTubers, streamers, and shit like that that just really bruise my ballsack. The first thing is something that really just became a big thing on the internet that I've hated for a long time, but now people are being more exposed to as they get closer to the shit pile that is internet egotistical assholes. It came to light with the whole makeup community on YouTube's drama, Tati, Jeffrey, James, all that garbage. Every single one of them uses what I call the dark place defense. It's like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card move. Every single one of their videos is, I was in a dark place, that's why this, that, and that. As if that somehow excuses being some type of stupid fucking idiot. Some goddamn dumb Cro-Magnon troglodyte who has this petty internet drama about fucking bullshit scam vitamins for your hair to make your dick bigger as well and whatever garbage they're peddling. I hate the dark place defense. But what I hate even more about that is that the fans, the goddamn micro-dicked brain-dead turbo-virgin idiots, are okay with it. These fans are barely more functional than zombies, but instead of shouting for brains, they're shouting their favorite dumbass YouTuber's name. I don't know how fans are okay with their asshole they support saying I was in a dark place and that's why I did all these awful things. For example, Jeffree Star accused James Charles of being a sexual predator, saying he needs to be thrown in jail, he molests people, he's gonna rob you of your cum in your dreams, he's a bad person. He says all these things. James Charles proves he is not those things. So then people go to Jeffree Star to prove it because he said he can prove that James Charles is awful. And then when it comes time for him to prove it, he releases this 13-minute video where he drones on about how he's in a dark place and that he's going to be the mature man and not prove anything he said. So that's an actual crime, Jeffree, you fucking idiot. But what's awful about that is the community cheered him on. All of his fans are like, wow, Jeffree Star is amazing. He decided to be the bigger man and falsely accuse James of all these things and then not back it up and then have the audacity to play the victim. Wow, Jeffree, you're a hero, man. That's like going to court and then just saying, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm not going to prove this man's guilty. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, wow, great work. Excellent, Jeffree.
Fantastic. You fucking accuse this man of crimes, and then you have the gall, you have the chutzpah to go on camera playing the victim and pretend that you're some mature vanguard of justice by not stooping down to the drama level. You made these claims saying you can back them up, and then you just bail out of it, meaning you lied. You accused an innocent person of all these awful things, and then you played the victim. You're a fucking douchebag, and your community sucks. Jeffree Star fans suck. Jeffree Star sucks. Now, that's the all-encompassing thing I hate about the internet there. That's just a specific example. Dark place defense and dumb fucking fans that excuse it and promote it as if they're a good person because they were in a dark place and everything they did gets a pass. It's awful, and I hate that. But kind of piggybacking off of that, in terms of YouTube fans, I absolutely hate when a community around a YouTuber goes out of their way to spread shit to other YouTube channels and other places on the internet. And some of you guys do that watch my shit. You know, I'll make a video about someone just casually goofing on them. You'll go to that person's video and relentlessly insult them. Or you'll just be total assholes to them and be like, oh, Critical sent me here. Critical told me to come over here and fight a battle for him. So I'm here to fight for Army Critical. Yeah, let's go, nipple neutrons, yeehaw. I hate that. I hate that. I think most people hate that. No one wants to see that kind of shit on a video they're watching. They want to just see things related to what they're watching. They don't want unrelated Leafy is here hissing and garbage like that. It's intrusive, annoying, and just downright dumb. Twitch streams have the worst of it though. When I do a just chatting stream at twitch.tv/moistcritical, the thing I hate most is when some goddamn warrior for their favorite YouTuber comes in, they're like, Charlie, watch Badlands Chugs, Joey's World Tour, watch them now, and then they'll spam it 50 times. You know what that makes me do? Makes me not want to watch anything from those people ever, because you're a shitty fan and a shitty marketer or promoter for them. I don't know what you think you're going to accomplish with that. It just turns everyone off of the person that you're trying to promote or trying to get out there. It's just bad behavior, childish behavior. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's appreciated by everyone you're trying to promote, and I know if you're doing it for me, I appreciate that you like my shit that much, that you want to share it with everyone, that's great, but that's not the way to go about it. That makes me afraid of you. That makes me feel like you're some type of raving lunatic who's gonna peruse the trash can looking for a half-eaten sandwich that I've thrown in there so that way you can grab my DNA from it and clone me or something in a basement, like a laboratory. That just makes me afraid. It's weird. It's obsessive behavior and it's not healthy. And it's just shit internet behavior, to be honest with you. Another big one that I really don't get is people that go on like a Twitter rant or a Reddit subreddit post rant where it's like, I used to love this person, but now I just can't stand the sight of him, and the thought of that person makes me want to vomit and cry. For example, on my subreddit, the critical one, every now and then there'll be a post like, I used to love Charlie before he showed his face and when he hated himself. That's when Charlie was the best to me. But now, this Charlie, I fucking hate him and his hair's awful. I hate that guy. And they'll go on this like 3 paragraphs explaining why they hate me. What's the point of that? You're just a douchebag. You're a fucking sad little asshole. It's fine if you don't like the shit I make now. That's totally okay. But what's the point in going out of your way to make this long post that you've clearly put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and micro-dickery into? What is the point? Are you expecting like a round of applause for being so brave? I don't get it. This happens with every community. Ethan's community gets this all the time. Every internet person gets this shit, and it's the dumbest thing because I don't see the point. Just quietly stop. Why do you have to bring everyone else down or try and insult the person and make this big hoopla and song and dance about it? It's just so stupid. It's pathetic. And the last big one I can think of right now is opinions. Anytime some Z-list internet pseudo-celebrity posts an opinion, it's going to divide their community, no matter how trivial it is, the subject. If an opinion differs from a fan, it's going to be a fucking disaster and they're losing a fan every time. This never really occurred to me until I started doing the moist meter, but I'll give something a score that is lower than what someone else would have given it, and that person sends me this long, droning email about how they hate me now and lost all their respect for me because I didn't like their favorite toy as much as they did. And now I see that on every single post on Twitter of anyone who makes internet shit at all. That's why all of them are so goddamn fake, because they know they can't share an actual opinion or else they're gonna get a lot of angry backlash. And it's so stupid because that's the entire culture right now, not just internet. If someone has a different opinion than you on anything, you can't be friends with that person, you can't associate with them. Everyone wants these fucking boring ass echo chambers of the same regurgitated shit that they believe, and they don't want to take in any other perspectives. It's awful. It's silly.
And with the moist meter, now I see it more than ever because everyone thinks something is better or worse than you do. Not everyone's going to share the same perspective on a certain thing, except for John Wick 3. I think everyone agrees that's probably the best action movie ever made. But other than that, everyone's going to differ an opinion. So every time that happens, they're like fucking trained to hate you now because you have a different opinion on a movie than they do. Like that's the thing that stops them from being a friend of yours now. It's fucking stupid and I hate that. So yeah, that'll kind of wrap it up. These were just the ones that I thought of off the top of my head for this because I really wanted to get my pet peeves out there and the things I really don't like about internet shit revolving like internet personality people and all that and internet communities. And these were the ones that came to my head right away. That's it. So yeah. I recognize this isn't a new phenomenon with grown adults stealing items from children at sporting events, but I would make the argument that it's becoming more and more common now. Maybe all those 5G towers really did take a toll on some people's brains here because it is crazy how often I am seeing footage of these grown-ass adults just stealing candy from babies, like literally at these sporting events. I just learned about another one from last week at a Chiefs game where Patrick Mahomes was giving his headband to a 10-year-old who was actually there celebrating his birthday, apparently. And as Patrick Mahomes is giving the headband to the kid, this woman comes over, snatches it out of his hands, and then runs away, gets called out on it, and then makes the dumbest fucking TikTok video about it I've ever seen. But first, let me show you the evidence here that she stole it. I think that's pretty obvious. There's other angles that show it even more clearly. I don't think it's necessary. I think that's pretty cut and dry there. But she then made a TikTok video after people were giving her shit for it.
To make something straight, I did not steal a headband from a little kid.
Yes, an excellent job cropping this photo to try and prove your innocence here. This would fool even the most seasoned of forensic experts, I would say. Irrefutable proof that she was the intended target, which you can tell because she's nowhere to be seen. In her own evidence here, you can see that she is reaching out in front of the child to take it from him. Like, come on, this is unreal. Also, she was dressed in Giants accoutrements. She was a Giants fan. I don't think Patrick Mahomes was intending to give you the headband. He didn't even register your presence there. This is so ridiculous. Oh my god, my voice is cracking. It's so absurd.
I just need to explain myself because everyone's having heart failure over this. You just need to understand, I'm at a football game. Last 2 minutes of the game, I allowed many people to come and sit down next to me or stand up or whatever you want to say. But I paid for my damn tickets. I paid. Well, Michael paid. All the same money. We paid for our tickets. It was 2 rows back. I went all the way in the front. People were coming from all over, probably the nosebleeds.
This is a masterclass in how to become even more unlikable in a situation I thought it was impossible to be more hated. People already don't like her because she clearly steals from a child, and now in her response she gives people even more things to dislike her for. She's talking about how she allowed people into her area after she paid for those tickets to be there. Well, Michael paid, but it's her money too, obviously. In fact, it's mostly her money, really, I would argue. Lady, the game is over. That is now moot. You can go wherever you want in that area. You don't own it. But she's talking about it as if it's her fucking stadium. And being the benevolent saint she is, the angel, she allowed them with her grace to be in this vicinity with her. That's crazy. That is actually crazy, the delusion. And she even says she was 2 rows back, so she also went up. But then she's like, talking about how, like, these people came from everywhere, probably the fucking nosebleeds or something. Those plebeians, these heathens, invaded my space.
I don't know if that kid was from the nosebleeds. I don't know if those were his seats or whatever. But people were saying, could we come and sit over there, stand over there? And I was saying, yeah, sure, whatever. Last 2 minutes of the game, they were all KC fans because the Giants lost, so all the Giants fans left. But I wanted to stay there and see if anyone's going to come down. Michael stood 2 rows behind me. Couldn't have even seen me because so many people were around standing up.
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter here in what happened. The game was over. You can now move around freely. If you were letting people in around you, that's so nice. What a superstar you are. Oh my goodness, that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. But it also has nothing to do with you stealing the headband intended for a 10-year-old.
At the ending of the game, the KC players was coming. Not gonna lie, what's his face? McDuff, I think his name is, came right to me to give me his gloves. But I was looking behind him and was looking at Mahomes, and I was screaming, Mahomes, Mahomes. He got mad, he like sort of got upset. Looked at me and said, I'm not Mahomes. So he gave the gloves to the next door little girl next to me. She started crying. I felt bad for her and I was rubbing her back. I said, are you okay? Don't worry about it, baby girl. They're just people. Don't cry.
I don't even know what that means. What kind of yappuccino are you serving up here? What the fuck? Jiminy Christmas? What? What the hell is even that? What are you even... Huh? What are you blabbering about? So, there are pieces to this puzzle I don't think are going to fit together. Like, following the breadcrumbs that she's sprinkling out here, she's farting out a poop that I just don't understand. So she's saying she was screaming, Mahomes, Mahomes. Turns out it wasn't Mahomes, it was McDuff. I think she means McDuffie, would be my guess. She can't even bother to get the player's name right. Also, side note, she's a Giants fan. Why does she even want Chiefs gear? I imagine she just wants to resell it. That'd be my hunch. But anyway, so apparently McDuffie got upset, like, I'm not Mahomes, and then gave his gloves to a little girl next to her who started crying. So then she started to console the little girl, reassuring her that it's okay. They're just people. Yes, yes, of course. Now it's all starting to make sense. A confounding mystery, but it's becoming more and more clear. It's coming into focus now that I say it out loud. This must be how it feels to, like, do whippets. Like, listening to her speak actually makes me stupider.
I am not a thief. That little boy, when Mahomes came, if you look at the video, both of our hands was on it. He was right to the left of me. I didn't look in Mahomes' eyes to see where is he looking. I just seen he's handing out something. I put my hand, both of our hands was on it. I took it.
Yeah, but you definitely knew. The kid even said the lady just stole that from me. Like, you definitely did know you reached out to put your hand on it. He didn't just, like, set it in both of your hands and say, like, good luck. It wasn't like the Dark Knight with the Joker doing an initiation. Like, he was clearly giving it to the kid. You reached out to grab it and put your hands on it and then take it from the kid. Like, that is clear in the video that you keep urging people to watch.
If he was 20 years old, would it have mattered? If he was a 20-year-old man and both of our hands was on it, and if he would have took it away from me, would have been like, oh, you should have gave it to the woman. So if it was a guy and I'm a girl, then he should have gave it to the girl. But because he's a 10-year-old little boy or 8-year-old or whatever how old he is, I should have gave it to him, but I didn't even know.
Good news, I just went and bludgeoned myself with a sledgehammer and I understand her perfectly now. This is a bulletproof defense. She's got us all in a checkmate. So, I think what she's trying to say here, very convoluted, is that if it was a 20-year-old man that she stole it from, would people still be upset? And the answer is, people would still think you're an asshole. And then she flips it saying, what if a guy took it from me? Would anyone care? And in that case, yeah, people would think he's an asshole. Like, stealing an item that was intended for somebody else and everyone sees it, they're going to think the person who stole it is an asshole. The fact you steal it from a child does make it significantly worse. 100%, yeah. This isn't the gotcha you think it is.
Why didn't they stop me and say, hey, yo, bitch, give it to my son or my brother? But no one didn't say nothing to me. I turned around, I walked away. I seen Mahomes. That's who I wanted to see. Why no one didn't say anything to me? But now you are posting it 1 week later?
It's your fault. I stole it and nobody stopped me. Thus, you have only yourself to blame. She's now trying this angle. Also, people did mention it. By the way, the kid even called it out that she stole it from him. And I'm pretty sure in one of the other videos I saw, someone else also mentioned it. She just ignored it and walked away. So, like, they did. But now she's, like, trying to say that, you know, the father or whatever should have reached out privately to tell her that it was intended for his son or whatever. So it's his fault.
Mahomes tried to give it to my son or my brother or whoever the hell he is to you. Look at this video. Look at, you put your hands on top of my son's hands and then you took it. You're older, you're stronger. You could have grabbed it more than he could have. Maybe I would have felt bad.
She literally talks like a 10-year-old. She sounds like a toddler. All you had to do was DM me and say that you put your hands on top of my son's hands and you're older, which means you're stronger, so you could have grabbed it more than he have. Holy shit. This is a grown woman, by the way. I don't know Michael, but listening to her speak, I feel bad for Michael. A conversation with her must be miserable. Dude probably has to leave milk and cookies out every year at Christmas. She probably still fucking stuck thinking Santa Claus is coming through.
But now you're trying to embarrass me. I don't think so. It is what it is. Make your son a tough man, because we're trying to make everyone a little too weak in this world today in 2025.
Oh, when that line hit when I first watched this, I knew it was something special I was bearing witness to. So now she's saying the 10-year-old is too weak. I guess she was expecting the 10-year-old to just like fucking judo chop her or like throw her over his shoulder or something and body slam her. And because that didn't happen, now she's saying that the 10-year-old is too weak and that the father's like failed because raising a weak kid because a grown woman stole from him out of nowhere. What a great lesson. Yeah, you're raising a weak kid because he didn't attack a grown woman at a football stadium. Right. This is unreal. It's fucking unhinged.
It is what it is. You don't get everything you life happens. Do you know how many times I took my sons to baseball games when they were young? They would have catched the ball and then men would have came and took it out of their hands.
Well, I don't know, crazy lady. It almost sounds to me like you're raising some weak sons. You're telling me that at the ball game someone came and took the ball out of their hand and they didn't beat their ass? Based on what you just said here about that 10-year-old, almost sounds like to me you got yourself a little bit of weakness in your own household, huh, now, doesn't it? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'll drop the sarcasm for a moment. I actually feel really bad for the kids. having their mom go on TikTok and just make a complete fucking fool of herself. Like, she tries to claim that everyone's trying to embarrass her, but it is her. It is her embarrassing herself. That's gotta be awful. That has really gotta be bad. And I really do feel awful for them.
Guys, I just want to talk to you guys for 1 minute from my heart. At the game, with all the noise and all the excitement, I honestly thought that Pat Mahomes was giving me the headline. I reached for it without thinking. Later, I found out that it was meant for that little boy for his 10-year-old birthday. When I found out, I felt horrible because I don't want to ruin anyone's little time at the game and ruin their little birthday. To the young boy, I'm sorry that I ruined your moment. You should have had your moment for your birthday.
She takes her foot off the gas in a follow-up video where she releases this apology here. Very different tune she's singing this time around. I guess the first one didn't really go over the way she had hoped it did. Well, her excuses don't really work anymore, though, because she already made it clear in her last one that she didn't feel horrible at all, even calling the kid weak. So this kind of falls flat on its fucking face here. And she also can no longer make the claim about being confused, which would have been like a legitimate thing, because there is the potential that she was confused and thought maybe it was intended for her. But she already made it clear that was not the case in the last video. So yeah, while it's a valiant attempt at trying to seem more sympathetic this time around, like, oh, this is a sincere apology, you should have had your special birthday and I'm sorry, it was such a mix-up, a very unfortunate set of circumstances. It doesn't work anymore.
Got an update on Joey. I want you guys to watch this.
They signed it.
No, he didn't.
They signed it.
Oh my God. What's in there?
I just wanted to tell you that I meant no harm done, but it all worked out in the best, and you got so much more. You got an autographed jersey.
And this is her latest video on it. So the Chiefs sent Joey a lot of gear that is signed, a lot of autographed gear, and she's talking about how happy she is that he got all of that. Yep. And that's that. Anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. It had me laughing really hard watching her first response video. That's really about it. So yeah. I'm finally all caught up on Game of Thrones. I went through the whole show in a little over a week, and I just watched the newest episode, The Battle of Winterfell, and it cemented what I already suspected. Bran is the worst character in the show, and perhaps one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a big show. I'm not critiquing the actor. In fact, I think the actor does a decent job with the character, however stale the character is. At least the actor makes it kind of interesting sometimes. The character is just a lifeless fucking statue of uninteresting everything. He's like a black hole of fun or anything interesting in the show. He's so fucking useless and underutilized, it's insulting to every other character in the show that they have to share the same set as this character sometimes. This isn't me critiquing the actor again, it's just this character does nothing throughout the entirety of the show. In the beginning, you know, for the first 5 seasons, they hype him up as, you know, alluding to him being a very powerful presence in the show and perhaps even the difference maker in the war to come. You know, he starts seeing these visions, he sees the past, you know, he's got all of these potential things. He can take control of Hodor and fight. Those were really cool elements of the character that were sparsely utilized, but when they were, it was a treat. And then it keeps going, and then you see this is never going to play any role in the show at all, and it doesn't. Bran does nothing, absolutely nothing. He's a perpetual damsel in distress, and this cool power he has, being able to see everything, the only thing he uses it for is to give some one-liners every now and then to make a character feel bad. You know, like he'll say something to Jaime Lannister, the things I do for love, and then, you know, that's it, just to make Jaime feel like a dickhead. It's so dumb. It's a cool power on paper, but in this show, there's nothing it can be used for. Bran has done 2 things of note throughout the entirety of the show, of his own power, which is give Jon Snow his true background, what he actually is, and be bait for the Night King in the newest episode. That's all he's ever done directly. It's so fucking sad. It's so dumb. The second worst character is Rickon. Rickon's far more useless, I'd argue, and I think it's objectively a true statement, because if you look at the script for the whole show, like if you had every line from every character throughout the entirety of the 8 seasons, you would see Rickon had maybe 5 lines until he got killed by Ramsay. And it's so dumb because they hyped up Rickon in the first season as having the same power, like seeing Ned Stark in the crypt, you know? They hinted him having the same power that Bran does, and then he doesn't do anything. It's like they stole his fucking vocal cords away, and then sometimes they remembered that the kid was on the set, so they threw him in a scene every now and then in the background until they killed him. It's so depressing. I feel like the creator, George, you know, big boy George, you know, big cock, big wiener George, he had a good vision for Bran and Rickon, but, you know, when he forgot how to write books and the show kept going, the creators didn't know what to do with them. The showrunners had no idea what to do with Bran and Stark, so they never had a purpose. They killed off Rickon, but they had to do something with Bran. But they never figured out what to do with Bran except make him bait. That's his biggest purpose in the show, to be a useless fucking rock that serves as a fishing line to get the Night King to Winterfell and killed by Arya. Spoiler alert, but I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already seen the episode. So in the newest episode, Bran sits in front of a tree, and then he says to Theon, as the huge battle's raging, you know, he's like, Theon, I'm jacking into the Matrix, I'm going to go into VR and play some Beat Saber. Rolls his eyes in the back of his head, takes control of ravens, and then just flies the ravens to the Night King who's on his dragon, which does fucking nothing, because the Night King, as Bran already said, had marked him, and as according to Bran, has always known exactly where Bran was at any given time, thus the ravens do nothing. I think Bran took control of the ravens just to get like a better fucking view of the fight that was going on. You know, he wanted like a, you know, Zeppelin coverage, a fucking Goodyear blimp to get a good view of all the carnage. And then, you know, the Night King comes and Arya kills him. Bran does nothing. He is totally fucking useless. He serves no purpose. His power does nothing to push the show forward. The only good he ever is something to lure a bad guy to. It's so dumb that you would hype him up, you know, give him all this training with the three-eyed raven, who was a cool character, hint at him being able to affect the past, but he can't really affect the past, even though he kind of did with Hodor by accident. So, I mean, it's kind of in a little gray area there as to what he can even do with his power, but George, like I said, forgot how to write and decided to wipe his ass with the entire series, so we'll never know exactly what he wanted with Bran. But now, I can't imagine he wanted Bran to just be this damsel in distress that does nothing. It's really infuriating. It really is upsetting because I like his power as a concept, and I think it could have been utilized really well in the world. But instead we get this stoic, passive roast master who just uses people's words from the past to give them one little moment of self-reflection, which doesn't even do anything either. It's so shitty. It's really fucking shitty. Also, the newest episode, Battle of Winterfell, you know, the entire first half was damn near unwatchable due to how dark it was. I didn't like that either. Not Bran's fault. Maybe it was Bran's fault. I don't really know. But I was stupid.
I just don't like Bran as a character. I can't imagine in the next 3 episodes before the show ends them doing anything noteworthy with the character, making him like some fucking triumphant hero. I thought when I was watching the show, I got really into the show, I thought Bran would eventually become this incredibly powerful force who was the difference maker throughout all of Westeros. You know, he's fucking dual-wielding Excaliburs on the back of an elephant that lives off eating the flesh of men, and Bran's like controlling fucking dragons with his mind or some crazy shit, or like Charles Xavier style, fucking hacking into the minds of the plebeians throughout the world or something. I expected something big of Bran, but instead his moment of triumph is just being saved because he's useless. That is underwhelming. Bran is a shitty character. He's like the Jar Jar Binks of this world. I use Jar Jar Binks as a comparison because Jar Jar, I subscribe to the theory that Jar Jar could have been the Master Sith Lord, the puppet master. That was a cool theory, and I think the same could have been said for Bran. Bran could have had a really cool role to play in this show, and it doesn't look like it's going to come even close to that. I cannot, if I'm wrong, in the next 3 episodes, Bran does something cool, Bran is useful, I will straight come onto the camera and fucking show my entire asshole Goatsy style. Probably won't do that, but I'd be super surprised if they did anything with this character. It's just underwhelming, and I wanted to vent about it because it makes me sick to my goddamn stomach. This is just horrible writing. Also, they get rid of the biggest threat in all of Westeros in the 3rd episode of Season 8, and there's still 3 more to go, so every other problem they could possibly face is trivial in comparison. The writing on this show has eaten some serious ass the last 3 seasons, and this season it seems like they're really fucking the ass of it. This is just bad. I'm not enjoying it very much. There's a lot I liked about Season 8 so far. There is a lot to like, no doubt. I'm not trying to shit on the whole season, but comparatively, when they were following the books, it's not even close. They were significantly better written, a whole lot less plot hole, a whole lot less room for improvement. This is just leaving so much to be desired. But again, I'm getting sidetracked and kind of venting about the whole show. Just wanted to vent about Bran being a useless sack of shit, not taking shots at the actor, and I think that's what a lot of you feral animals that don't like a character need to learn. It's not the actor or actress's fault. It's just bad writing from the creators of the show, the showrunners. It is not the actor's fault. In fact, like I said, I think his performance suits the character well, and he does a decent job with it. That being said, Bran is still a bad character. So yeah.
I mention this offhand occasionally, so I don't think it's going to come as a shock to most people to learn that I have insomnia. And I've had it for as long as I can remember, all the way back to when I was but a wee lad. And as I've gotten older, it's only gotten worse. It is awful. This shit is poop, man, I'll tell you what. So, obviously the reason I'm ranting and raving about it is it's 5:30 a.m., I've been trying to sleep for 4 hours now, to no avail, and, well, I oftentimes treat this channel like a diary, so let's just get into the old peanut butter and jelly here of this shit sandwich that is insomnia. Now, obviously, this isn't some unique quirk no one's ever heard of. There are countless people out there that go through bouts of insomnia, but you're only borrowing it. I was born in it. I distinctly remember being in like elementary school back when we still lived in Orlando. My grandparents were visiting and the guest bedroom was right next to my bedroom. And I was going through one of my insomniac boss battles where I'd be tossing and turning unable to sleep. And back then my strategy was if I couldn't fall asleep after a certain period of time, I'd flip on the TV, let that ride for a minute, hopefully make me sleepy. I'd turn it off and try to sleep again. Oftentimes it wouldn't work and, well, I'd just basically get trapped in that cycle. I'd be in this like fucking Doctor Strange Dormammu time loop of not being able to sleep, so I'd be trying to fall asleep, not falling asleep, turning the TV on, turning it off, trying again, rinse and repeat. Well, my grandparents were over during one of these, and I was keeping my Meemaw awake with my tactics, and at some point in the night, she got very upset, fed up, and she stormed through my door like a fucking Spec Ops soldier raiding a terrorist hideout, and she said, "Go to bed, I have seen every number on that goddamn clock tonight." She was under the impression that I was doing it on purpose, being like rebellious, you know, stick it to the moniosis. I had come down with a strong case of it, and I just wanted to be up all night, how naughty. But, truth is, I just couldn't sleep. I've just never grown out of it, a curse that I've been unable to break. Which plenty of people also suffer from. I'm just here bitching about it because right now I'm in the midst of some big-time insomnia. Like, this is fucking Insano-style insomnia I've been getting in recent weeks here. And I've tried everything. There's not a remedy under the sun that I haven't given a whirl to. Even the most nonsensical gobbledygook I have tried. Shit that even flat earthers would discredit, I've given at least a strong attempt at, you know? Do a handstand while drinking water upside down 1 hour before bed and you'll get peaceful slumber. Rub eucalyptus oil on your nipples and you will sleep like a bump on a log. I've tried everything. Everything shy of, like, medication, like pills. And even that I've tinkered with. Melatonin I take and have taken a lot. It's hit or miss. Sometimes it'll help. Most of the time it doesn't seem to do all that much. I've tried even ASMR. I don't think there's a single guided meditation video on YouTube I haven't listened to while trying to fall asleep. I've tried fucking brainwave alignment for better sleep therapy sessions online. Like the videos you listen to with like the sleep waves. Tap into the sleep chakra frequency. It'll align them in your brain and you'll fall asleep and have a good night's sleep. I've tried it all. That garbage, like I basically MK Ultra'd myself over the last few years trying everything, and it has still not done shit for my insomnia at all. I've even tried to study military techniques for sleeping on the battlefield. Like I've done muscle tensing and relaxation to try and fall asleep in minutes strategies. None of it works. It doesn't work at all. I'm like the fucking avatar of combining every possible thing that keeps you awake at night. There's so many different things that'll keep people awake, like being anxious, you know, like where your brain never just stops thinking, so it keeps you from falling asleep. That'll happen to me sometimes, even though I'm not really an anxious person. I don't really get anxiety or anything like that, but sometimes at night I'll just constantly be thinking of shit. I like, also restless leg syndrome will sometimes hit me. That's where like you feel like this sensation that you need to wiggle your legs around. You gotta, you know, fucking boogie down with your legs there, get them moving, which will keep people from sleeping. Like, all kinds of different things will happen when I'm trying to fall asleep. It's like a goddamn circus. Like, whenever I'm trying to get some fucking rest. It is tragic. Like, it is so unfortunate, because it is very unhealthy to not get sleep. I know how unhealthy it is. And that thought is something that also keeps me up, knowing full well that by not being able to sleep, it's making my health worse. And then that makes me angry. And then I get angry, and it stops me from falling asleep. And I'll just lay there for hours and hours. I'll turn on the TV, trying to fucking play a lullaby, anything, and nothing will make me fall asleep. It sucks. But what's really interesting is when the sun comes up, when we say goodbye, Mr. Moon, good night, Moon, and we say hello to the sun, well, then I can sleep like a fucking baby. Then I can sleep like a baby that just got some warm milk. I don't know why, but throughout the day, I have no problems sleeping. And I can sleep anywhere during the day. I could sleep standing up if you ask me to. I could just enter low power mode and just take a snooze. I could fall asleep on a bed of broken glass. I'm like a fucking vampire. I don't understand. And I've tried in the past to like use that, like maybe that's just the way I'm built, just built a little differently when it comes to that. So I tried like a nocturnal lifestyle for a little bit, where I did most of my sleep in the day, and like I just wouldn't sleep at night because I couldn't, but I just felt like shit. Like I wasn't tired per se, but I just felt like shit. It feels unnatural to just be awake all night while you get your sleep during the day. Plus, sleeping during the day, I miss out on like a ton of activities and like being able to do things. Because what the fuck are you gonna do at 4 a.m.? It's just entirely inconvenient. The world is not built for that kind of lifestyle. So I've tried like other different, you know, phasic sleep schedules that other people that have like insomnia and different things try. None of that felt good. I always felt like completely drained. I felt like SpongeBob without water. It just wasn't working for me. Like, I would love to just be able to sleep at normal human hours, but I have so much trouble with it. Again, I've tried everything. Fucking white noise machines, white noise generators, all kinds of shit. And sometimes, like, I can fall asleep, but then I'm such a light sleeper that even the slightest noise, like if a cricket took a piss outside my window, I'd hear it and I'd wake up. And the second that I wake up from sleep, it is almost impossible for me to go back to sleep. Actually, that's what's happened tonight, and why now at fucking 5:30 a.m. I'm still awake. I went into bed pretty early, and I fell asleep for like an hour-ish, and then something woke me up, and now I haven't been able to fall asleep since, so I spent 4 hours fucking not being able to sleep. It sucks. It's no fun. I don't like it. That is another thing that really greases my ass, by the way, being a light sleeper. Like, I don't want to be a super heavy sleeper. I think there's some benefits to being, like, somewhere in between, you know, in the Goldilocks zone between light and heavy. A medium. A medium sleeper would be great. But I'm such a fucking light sleeper. When I fall asleep, I turn into, like a UAV almost, where I become aware of everything around me. If anything's out of the ordinary, I immediately, I'm up. I get up. It's so wildly inconvenient. Such a terrible combination of not being able to sleep all that often easily, and then when I do fall asleep, I'm on high alert like a stealth mission NPC, like it's fucking Splinter Cell or something. So I fall asleep and all of a sudden I can hear my neighbor's heartbeat. It's trash. It is trash. And again, I'm sure a lot of people will go into the comments to recommend some remedies. I imagine I have tried all of them. Even if it's like a family secret that you've kept under lock and key as like this hidden jujitsu, this hidden knowledge, I've probably tried it somehow. I've tried every herbal tea in the world. I've tried aromas. Sometimes I've tried falling asleep like you're hunting for ghosts, like incensing and shit. Like there's so few sleep remedies I haven't tried, and they just don't work for me. It's so frustrating. Like I don't know. I could keep yapping about this a lot, but I don't think there's any reason to. You get the idea. Insomnia sucks. I can sleep during the day just fine though, but when the moon comes out, I'm a fucking insomniac werewolf. It is hard to get a clean, smooth 8 hours of rest for me. But here's something I will say. When, like tonight, I do finally give up on trying to go back to sleep or fall asleep when I realize it's fruitless, it does give me more time to do shit. So like I'll sometimes get extremely late night lifts in, which feels nice. Recently I've been doing a lot of gaming for the new gaming channel, the Moist Critical Gaming one. I get a lot of gaming in at fucking 5 a.m. Like I just posted Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, my full playthrough. A lot of that I played at times like this, 5 a.m. In fact, most of it I played at 5 a.m. when I couldn't sleep like 2 days ago. So like, it does give me more time to do things, which ties back into something you've heard me preach a lot about. I think if we as humans could evolve past the need for sleep, we would be so fucking efficient, we would have already colonized the stars out there. This galaxy would be, we'd have, you know, humans in every corner of space by this point. We would have fucking solved faster than light travel if we just didn't need to sleep. Like the amount of hours I feel I get by not sleeping in order to do other things is nuts. But it comes at a cost, and that is energy. And like I feel so drained of energy so often not being able to sleep. It is awful. It sucks. But should there ever come a time where we don't need sleep, we are going to be a very advanced civilization. Very much so. Like, my God. Watch out, rest of the universe. If humans didn't need to sleep, as a game changer out there in the cosmos. But yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping about it. I've already been yapping about it a lot here. It's just so frustrating. That's really about it. So yeah. This is a video I've debated making for the last week or so. For the first time in the 15 years I've been on YouTube, it's a video that I've actually been afraid to make because it's a dangerous topic. It's touchy. It's anime. And anime fans can get wild. They always say war is hell, but I think war is child's play compared to an argument with a weeb. I also recently learned about antimatter, and it's the only thing in the universe that releases 100% of its energy in like this devastating explosion. And that's also wrong, because weebs do that too when they find out that you don't like their favorite waifu. The point I'm making is, things can get very ugly when you criticize or talk about anime negatively. Expect an unholy, diabolical meltdown on Twitter attacking you for weeks for it. I still, to this day, have not heard the end of how wrong I am for not liking JoJo's Part 3 and 4 as much as I liked Parts 1 and 2. And I mentioned that a single time in a video over a year ago. So let that shit sink in. For what it's worth, I just finished Part 5, that shit slapped. Part 5 was great. So, let's get to what I want to talk about today. The main thing that I just dislike about anime, I'm sure all of you know by now, but I watch a lot of anime. You could probably guess that just by taking a single glance at me. If I walk by you in public, you would probably assume that I watched anime just by the way I look. I stared too long into the abyss of anime, and it stared back into me. I even bought a body pillow at one point, so, God bless. But the thing is, no matter how much anime I watch, there is one thing that always makes me uncomfortable with how common it is in the medium. And you probably already know what I'm going to bring up. It's anime's fixation on making all of the characters kids or very kid-like, for no reason. Now, I'm not specifically talking about lollies. I'm sure you know what lollies are. If you don't, all power to you. Your innocence is intact. But I'll go ahead and ruin Christmas for you. Lollies are an anime where they have a character that looks like a child, but is actually a 4,000-year-old dragon cum vampire who's highly sexualized but looks like a child. They're called lollies. They're not actually children because in the show they're supposed to be much older, but they look like kids, and it's pretty weird. That shit's always going to be weird to me, but it's not even exactly what I'm focusing on here. I'm talking about in the shows where they just actually outright make them children. For example, Tokyo Revengers. It's a show I really like. It's a show I moist metered recently. The first season wrapped up. I gave it like a 90%. I thought the show was fantastic. But in the show, all of the characters are middle schoolers. And it does nothing for the plot because they're middle schoolers, but you never see their parents. Their schools don't have any effect on the plot at all. Sometimes they'll be in school, but they immediately leave, so it's not like integral to the plot at all. Most of the time, they just don't go, and that's not even a plot point, like, oh, I'm skipping school, I'm fucking dope and breaking rules, I'm a bad boy. It is literally them just middle schoolers, but they're basically just adults anyway. They have motorcycles that they ride around, they get in gang fights and shit like that. So the question becomes, why make them middle schoolers? Why keep driving home this idea that these characters are 14 and 15? It just makes it really weird when they do adult shit, like one of the girls trying to fuck one of the guys and she's in like her bra and panties about to have sex. It's weird because they've drilled into you that these are all middle schoolers around here, but they didn't need to be. These could have very easily just been adults. If you took a tally of every single protagonist across every anime ever made, I'd wager about 85% of all main characters in anime are 15 years old. That is the most common age of every character of every major anime, it feels like. But it never plays a role in anything, them being kids. It's not like that's ever an actual point in these shows, like, oh, fuck, I can't go to this gang fight because I have to go do my algebra homework, otherwise my parents are going to spank me and dad's going to bring out the belt and take away my PlayStation. The characters being children is always just so useless because they could have easily just been adults and it wouldn't have taken away from anything. It's just weird. I don't really get it. And what really prompted me to make this video, or make me want to make this video over the last week or so, is I'm watching a currently airing anime called Platinum End, and it's dog shit. It is an actual pair of bull nuts. It's terrible. But I'm watching it because it's made by the creator of Death Note, so I at least gave it a chance. And I'm going to finish it just because I've already watched so much of it, but it's not good. But one thing that really drove home this idea of what is the point of making the characters kids is there's spoilers coming up, I guess, but I don't think you should watch it, so I wouldn't really worry about spoilers. I'm doing you a favor, if anything. One of the main bad guys is a kid. He's a middle schooler, and he has the ability to control the minds, basically, of anyone he shoots with an arrow, and he uses the arrow on a middle school girl. And she gets shot with this love arrow, and what she does is she just starts fucking other middle school girls. And they show her, like, almost fully nude, making out with middle school girls, about to fuck them, finger blast them, go wild. It shows you that in the show. And it's super weird because they keep driving home this idea constantly that that is a middle schooler. She is 13 or 14, whatever, years old. Even in the show, they call her the middle school serial killer because she's a middle schooler, and after she fucks the girls, she kills them. It's just super creepy because they are establishing that this is a child that we almost watch have sex with another child in the show. Now, of course, it's all cartoons. So I can't use the C word here when talking about anime. People get very upset. It is a 2D animation. I understand they're not real kids or anything, but that doesn't make it any less creepy. It could have just easily been avoided if these were adults, because they could have been. Again, in Platinum End, The school doesn't have any effect at all. The only thing the school has done is establish that the main character's been bullied. But he could have also just been an adult who had been bullied throughout his entire life in school. I don't think there's been a single scene in this entire show that has been at the school other than at the very front where he was hiding in the background. So them being in school is useless because it is never a part of the actual show. Them being 14 and 15. They could just be adults and it wouldn't be weird. You could have adult characters instead of kids doing these adult things, these sexual things, you know? Now, I'm not saying every single anime has to be like 40-year-old grizzled war veterans for characters or anything, but there's a lot of shows where them being kids is just a completely useless plot point, and because it doesn't actually play a role in the plot. Them being kids doesn't matter, like the two examples I just gave you. But then there are shows where it does matter that they're kids. Something like Assassination Classroom, right? They are kids in class. They're at school. The majority of that show takes place in a school setting. So obviously there's still a lot of shows where them being kids is actually important to the story and couldn't work with them being older. So I'm not saying everything in anime needs to be adults only. That's just called hentai, I suppose. I'm just saying there's a lot of shows where the characters are kids just because they wanted to make them children for no reason, but then they still want them to like fucking things, which makes it really uncomfortable to watch because they could have just made them adults. I've said that like 20 times by now, but there are really just so many shows where I'll sit there and watch it and I'm like, damn, this is a good show. And then it's like, but why are they kids? What was the point? What did that add to this? I just don't really get it. And that's just my main thing I don't like about anime. It's not like I'm over here, you know, slapping a Bible and saying we gotta ban anime because think of the kids or whatever. But it is weird. Like, it is just kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I just wanted to toss this out there. You know, it's not like I'm canceling my Crunchyroll subscription and I'm burning my manga and destroying my anime Blu-rays or anything like that. I'm still gonna keep watching anime. The fucking Jujutsu Kaisen movie is one of my most anticipated movies that I can even think of. I'm super hyped for that. I just wanted to at least put this out there, just because I've been thinking about it since I've been watching that garbage Platinum End. And I mentioned it on stream once, so I figured might as well make a video talking about it. That's about it. So yeah. If there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that this tooth, this one right here, that little bastard, is about 1 centimeter taller than the other teeth on that bottom row. And now, anytime you see my mouth open, you won't be able to unsee it. You're welcome. And the other thing you really need to know about me is that I cannot stand when people cause problems for customer service workers, in particular, fast food employees. I've made countless videos shitting on narcissists that are fishing for clout by exploiting fast food employees for views on TikTok or YouTube through pranks or just being a general nuisance, just a hemorrhoid on society. They're just normal people and they're getting paid minimum wage to deal with the most insufferable people on the planet. Just truly degenerate assholes, and my heart breaks for them. Fast food workers get abused more than a fleshlight. It sucks. And over the last week or so, there's been a new trend that has really blown up that once again just treats these human beings as if they're just NPCs, props for their TikTok and YouTube Shorts videos. It's filming your Chipotle order being made by the Chipotle worker.
I'll get a bowl. Yeah, for to go. I'll get white rice with that.
The idea is they're going to give you more food because they're on camera. And it spawned because people were starting to talk about Chipotle portion sizes being smaller than they used to be, which for the record I do believe. That is a conspiracy theory I'll put on the full tinfoil condom for, because I do think that's accurate no matter how much the CEO likes to dance around in delusion and pretend that that's not the facts of it. I do think it is true. I used to get a Chipotle burrito after every lift in college, and I had innumerable Chipotle burritos, and over the last 3 or 4 years I've been very vocal about the quality of the food going down, in my opinion, and definitely, like, when I get burritos now, it's significantly less than I remember it being back then. But I also think that's just kind of the industry norm, because I think the same thing about many other fast food places as well. But anyway, someone on TikTok came up with a cure to this small portion disease, and it was to just film these workers doing their job and kind of give them a bit of a hard time and nudge them on camera to give them more food. And this started to really pop off because a lot of people noticed that, oh, when they're being filmed, they give you more food. So that's the cheat code. That's the life hack.
Rice blank or pinto beans?
We'll do pinto beans with that.
Pinto beans, any protein for you?
We'll do chicken, please.
Chicken. Any queso for you?
We need some more chicken in that.
More chicken?
Finna fire on your ass. Put that chicken in there.
All right. Any queso for you?
This one is by far the worst I've seen from this trend here. This guy went in there looking to start shit. He's immediately aggressive and confrontational. The guy hadn't even put the fucking spoon fully into the chicken bowl there before he said, no, 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 need more chicken. He's there to stir a controversy for the sake of his video. And he is just shoving the camera down this guy's throat. If the worker had bent over, the camera guy here would have given him a full-blown fucking colonoscopy. He is right up in his business to just be this insufferable douchebag that's hassling him for the sake of this video that he's filming. Now, it's filmed from another angle, but I can't find that full video. I can only find this one through Twitter.
We need some veggies. Get some green veggies. Yep, little bit more, little bit more.
No problem.
Little bit more.
No problem.
Straight up. Oh, they gonna have to hold me accountable.
When he was asked pretty politely to just stop putting the camera in this guy's face, not even asked to stop filming, by the way, just asked to like, hey, maybe don't be up in this guy's nutsack with your camera, he immediately starts yelling about it. He's immediately throwing a fucking temper tantrum. Even though it was a super reasonable request, because look at how close he's getting to this guy. He is leaning over the counter to get as close as possible. It's like he's going in for a kiss, like he's trying to fucking make out with the guy here.
Nothing else?
That'll be all. And if you got problems, I'll fire your ass up. Hold me accountable. You gonna have to hold me accountable.
Sir, this is a Chipotle's. Why are you yelling and screaming? Why are you hooting and hollering here? Goodness gracious, it's like a hostage situation here. The worker did everything you ask. Leave them alone. All they requested is that you take the camera out of that guy's mouth. They didn't even ask that you stop filming, even though they should have. They should have walked over and slapped that fucking phone right out of your hands, douchebag. That's what should have happened. But it didn't. You still got to have your TikTok video, and you're still huffing and puffing about it. It's incomprehensible to me. Even when people who did this trend weren't harassing the worker making their food, I still don't like it. I think it is still dog shit. You're just being a nuisance to just average everyday people just going about their lives. They're getting paid minimum wage to make your food, and you're making it a huge headache for them by putting them on camera when I know for a fact they don't want to be. The reason you're getting more food shouldn't be some kind of mystery. The reason is because no one wants to deal with being shamed online. It's not like these people are just drones, AI that are cut off from the rest of the world. These people have access to the internet, same as you. They know what this trend is. And they know if they give you anything less than fucking colossal proportions that could feed a family of 8, then they're going to get insulted in your TikTok video. So obviously they play along with it. Like, it shouldn't be surprising that you do get more food when you film the workers here and put this big spotlight on them, because now you've turned it into a huge song and dance, and they want to do everything possible to avoid a negative situation with their life here that you have now thrust upon them for your own, TikTok or YouTube short. I think it sucks. I think it is sucked from the very beginning. I don't like that the portion sizes at Chipotle have shrunk, obviously. But what I would never do is blame the workers for it. They're not making the corporate decisions for the portion sizing or anything like that. And if you do get less than you want, you can politely ask if you can have like another scoop or something. Like, that's just normal socialization 101. You don't have to resort to the nuclear option here.
And that ain't no issue. Anybody in here can get it. Straight up. You can call the police. I ain't break no law. Wait, what? Whoa, why you lying like police?
This guy's fuming so hard that he immediately gave himself amnesia and forgot that he just threatened the entire restaurant. She said, all right, I'm gonna call the police because you're threatening people. He's like, you're fucking lying! Who did that? Where? When did that happen? You're telling a fib. That's a tall tale. And I don't appreciate it, Buster. Even though literally 5 seconds ago, he just threatened the entire restaurant for some reason. He's just having a full-blown voice-cracking conniption here in front of the entire Chipotle for this trend. And I still don't even know what there is to be mad about. He got big portions on his bowl. Mission accomplished. And he successfully made everyone in that restaurant's day a little bit worse. Yippee! Wahoo! That's great. So yeah, overall, I think that this filming Chipotle workers trend is garbage. I think it is just trash. I could bring up countless other examples because it's become such a viral hit here, but they're all so annoying. They're not nearly as bad as this one. This one is by far the worst I have seen so far. The only ones that I somewhat appreciate are the ones where the Chipotle worker gives them significantly less food because they're filming. I fuck with that. I think that's great. That should be the gold standard going forward here. You come in and you start filming the workers, well, I hope you enjoy 5 tiddlywinks of rice and 1 little glob of chicken. And that's it. Put a smile on your face and get the fuck out. But anyway, yeah. Don't like the trend. Hopefully the trend is over soon. That's about it. So yeah. We're in a golden age of conspiracy theories. We'll read about that shit all the time on Twitter. A bunch of people thinking that they're the ones finding the truth. These truth seekers believe they're peeling back the curtains and getting the real scoop on things. My city just installed a new ATM, which is emitting dangerous radiation carrying nanobots in the air, which is getting into our lungs and injecting microchips in us. Beautiful shit like that. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am an agent of the truth, which is why today I'll be giving a TED Talk on why I fucking hate lettuce. I've ranted passionately about this topic on stream before. In fact, if you type in lettuce is bad or lettuce is a scam on YouTube, the only response, the only video you get is a stream clip someone posted where I was ranting about lettuce. So it feels like I'm the only warrior out here, the only champion of truth, trying to reveal to you how fucking dumb lettuce is. So, I mean, I'll play that clip for you real quick. Lettuce is good. That, my friends, right there is called brainwashing. You're the victim of a government experiment of mass hypnosis to convince you lettuce is good and healthy. Empty calories, no nutrition, no flavor, no texture, dog shit. Open your third eye, see the truth. Lettuce is a scam. Oh, fuck. Admittedly, I went a little too unhinged here. I went too deep into Alex Jones levels. I said something that is just not true, having no texture. Lettuce has the texture of a soggy sponge if it's on a burger for the most part, considering the heat from the burger makes the lettuce less hard, so it barely adds a crunch to a burger, which I hear the main arguments for lettuce being the crunch. The only time you really get a crunch out of lettuce is if it's your starting quarterback in the dish, like in a salad. If it's just straight fucking lettuce, yeah, it's gonna have a crunch. So I was wrong to say it doesn't have a texture, because, I mean, it does. It does. It's not a texture that I really enjoy. The crunch is minimal, and it's not really all that crunchy to begin with, unless you're just eating like fucking raw lettuce and broken glass, I guess. But anyway, let's just go from the beginning here. Now, like I said, I've talked about it on stream before, and every time I've done that, I'm met with the same response. Bewilderment. People whose eyes have truly finally opened, because I'm hitting them with concentrated truth serum. And if you'd like to be enlightened, you can tune into my streams, twitch.tv/moistcritical. Feel free to stop by. But anyway, what is lettuce? Let's start there. Lettuce is a tiny trash bush which only grows in the absence of fun, happiness, and flavor. It's actually the work of the devil, and it ties all the way back to the biblical age. When Eve plucked the apple from the tree of knowledge, the Lord actually forgave her. That is not the first sin. You see, what actually happened is the Lord caught her growing lettuce nearby, and in his disgust condemned the human race, learning that he had made a mistake. Thus, the first sin was born. Now that you know where lettuce comes from, let's talk about the nutrition found in lettuce. Nothing. There is no nutrition found in lettuce. The nutritional facts of lettuce look like my high school basketball stat sheet. It's zeros across the board except one category, which is vitamin A, where you can get about 40 to 50% of your vitamin A daily intake. Which, you know where else you can find that? In every other food ever. Vitamin A is extremely common and found in a ton of food, so lettuce isn't exactly a really big player in the vitamin A game. It has some, sure, but not very much. If you're eating lettuce, it's not for its nutritional content. You're probably eating it because you're led to believe that it's a healthy choice. And to be fair, it is to a certain degree, depending on how you want to utilize your lettuce. Kangaroos are fucking jacked, massive biceps and shit, and all they eat is lettuce, like 50 pounds of lettuce a day. But you can't do that. You will die if you eat 50 pounds of lettuce a day. I imagine most lettuce enthusiasts out there eat it in a salad, where it is fucking drenched in dressing and all kinds of other horrible things for you. Most salads in America aren't really salads, they're just kind of like ranch soups with little bits of lettuce tossed in. Salads aren't, by and large, healthy overall, unless you yourself are making it with like fresh ingredients and like only putting in healthy shit. If you're just going out and getting a box salad, most of the time it's like massively high in sodium, gonna immediately give you hypertension. Like the lettuce isn't saving you or helping you. It's empty calories. Eating lettuce is like biting into styrofoam, but with even less flavor than styrofoam. It's just a fucking waste. If you're going to, like, if you like salads, there's nothing wrong with that. I like salads, but I like spinach salads. Spinach is huge in really good nutrients. Spinach actually is something that you'd eat and get a benefit from. Lettuce you are eating just so that way you don't gorge on other shit. So lettuce is literally just like Naruto filler. It's just there to pad out your meal. You know, so that way you don't eat as much of the shit that you like that is unhealthy. But with spinach, it does the same thing, but also is good for you, as opposed to just being blank. You know? I'm not sponsored by spinach or anything, but lettuce is like an outright dangerous fucking food to eat, it seems, because at least once a year, romaine lettuce gets recalled due to E. coli outbreaks. There is so many E. coli outbreaks when it comes to lettuce, it's wild. It seems like eating lettuce is more dangerous than eating raw meat. Like, this shit is wacky. Like, at least once a year. I haven't checked, but I know there's been like 4 since 2017, so that's about once a year, I think. It gets recalled because of E. coli, which is hospitalizing people and shit like that. Like, it's not like a safe food. It's neither healthy nor is it safe. You're like taking a risk eating lettuce. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, there's a lot of people that like lettuce on their burgers or like on a sandwich or something. Why? It doesn't do anything. Especially when it comes to like a sandwich where it's just 2 pieces of bread, your meat, and then like 5 feet worth of lettuce. That just makes it hard to eat and offers nothing. Then the lettuce drowns out all of the actual flavors of your sandwich. Like, it's dumb. Like, I was watching a YouTube video the other day with this absolute banging sandwich. It was a Korean sandwich from like a channel called like Yummy Yummy Boy or something like that. And they had like so much good shit going on this sandwich, and right when they got to the end, the last thing he did is stack like this much fucking lettuce on the sandwich, which elevated the bread up to here. And it's like, well, how the fuck are you going to eat that? And what is that lettuce going to do besides drown out all the good shit you just put down here, which is like fucking cheese, eggs, and sausage or whatever? Like, it was incredible. And then this lettuce comes in and ruins it. It's like that friend that gets invited to everyone's party, but no one wants them there. So you wonder, why does he keep getting invited? It's just a nuisance. Like, if you want to put a little lettuce on it, I mean, I guess that's fine, but even why do that? It still doesn't bring anything to the party. That minimal crunch doesn't make the sandwich taste any better. And it is a minimal crunch because the heat immediately starts to wilt the lettuce to begin with, so it's not like a very hard crunch. It doesn't bring anything. It doesn't help anything. I feel like a fucking crazy person taking crazy pills every time I say how dumb lettuce is. I don't get it. Why is it so popular? And I have an answer. It's because you are the victim of propaganda. That's right. Did you know 90% of all romaine lettuce comes from the same company? Did you know that? Interesting. What if they're putting some kind of psychedelic agent in the lettuce to convince you that the continued consumption of the lettuce is good for you? You see, now we might be getting somewhere. There has to be something sinister at play where the lettuce overlords have done something. Like, they have a wizard at the facility that's imbuing the lettuce with a spell that keeps people reliant on eating lettuce and arguing that lettuce is good. I just find it so hard to believe that this many people believe that lettuce is good for them or good for the flavor of anything ever, or like texture-wise. There's substitutes for the crunch in burgers or a sandwich. It's called onions. Like, that's the biggest one. Onions basically does the same thing, and no matter how hot your sandwich or burger is, the onion still gives you that crunch. I know there's a lot of people that don't like onions, so I'm just giving one quick example. There's still other substitutes, is what I'm saying. It's not like lettuce is the only thing in the world that has like this flavorless pseudo crunch. It's just, I don't get it. I really don't. And I wanted to vent about it because I can't fucking wrap my head around lettuce loving. Why? It's just a waste of, well, it's not even like, there's barely even fucking calories in it. It's just a waste of time. And it ruins sandwiches, goddammit. It does. It absolutely ruins them. I think what's bringing this out of me, this lettuce demon out of me, is after seeing that awesome fucking sandwich on YouTube be ruined by fucking 20 pounds of lettuce they slapped on it. That's probably what made me want to talk about it today. But anyway, yeah, fucking hate lettuce. That's about it. See ya.